live streaming isn't available right now. Well, try again, you son of a bitch. I know what that means. It means it's working right. That's what it means. Give me that little error message. It means everyone's seeing me complain to YouTube again. So, with that in mind, I see the little thing spinning. I see a black screen. It's not showing me myself. But hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shadow, the internet personality of us here, and welcome to Live and Wired episode 45. It's time to stop. Oh, an error occurred. Please try again later. Okay. Kat says hi, Decker, so I think we're live.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me bring up the
Kat.
Restream chat window, be able to tell what I'm looking at here. Okay, so right now we're having an interesting time with how it's working. I'm still getting everything kind of set up, and on Mixer we are not live. On Mixer we are not streaming this time, because Mixer on the 4th just started this thing where they actually have to approve you for live streaming. And everyone who had previously been live streaming is not grandfathered in, so I just found out about that, trying to set it up. I'm like setting up the restream, and Mixer's there like, sorry, you need approval. I need what? I thought for a second, like, what is going on? Because it has a little video that you're forced to watch, kind of like YouTube's copyright school every time they screw you over.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they keep treating you like a criminal. It's like, this is, just stop it. Just let me put in the dispute. Please. So I got kind of those vibes from watching the little thing on Mixer, like, and remember, don't stream naked. I'm like, I know! Every time I stream, you set my stream from teen to mature for some reason. I'm still trying to figure out why, and now I'm looking at this, and then I found out, oh, it's doing that to everybody, and it's been doing that since the 4th. I'm like, oh, okay. So hello, everyone! Sapperbeast on Twitch says howdy. So we are streaming to Twitch. We are streaming to Alfrika TV. If I can get this all set up the way I need to in order to be able to see what I'm doing. I'm sure I can figure this out. And yes, as I was saying, welcome to Live and Wired, episode 45. It's time to stop. Joining, as always, we have that long-haired creepy guy.
Yo.
And the glue that holds this oil and water together. Patricia.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Okay, let me make sure I got
Everybody's saying their hellos, so hi everybody. And we already have a donation, $2 from Blood Buzz Ohio, who says, "I love you, Decker."
Thank you very much. That is slightly terrifying, but I will accept it for $2.
Thank you.
Now, did that come through? Because I saw there it is. There's the super chat, and it's still showing the zombie. Oh well. I just looked at it again, and everything still shows that it's set the way it's supposed to be set. Okay, I got my chat window up for Alfrika TV, so now this is going out live to Korea for the 1.5 people who might watch it at any given time.
Woo!
Yay!
I mean, technically the YouTube one's going out to Korea as well, but Alfrika TV is Korean Twitch.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it is what it is. Going out to D-Live, going out to everywhere. I love it.
Yes. Also, just at random, because legs.
Yes. Creepy has his legs out again.
All the legs.
Yeah, it's Sapper Beast, Korea. I assume South Korea, but I don't know. Maybe they got some real kick-ass internet up north, and it's just so far beyond what we have that we just don't realize. Wrench WD2 just subscribed. Welcome.
Welcome.
Okay, so as you might have figured from, it's time to. My lighting is so dim. I got to turn that up. I'm in the Decker shadow in the dark shadows. Here.
You're living up to your name.
Yes.
He is like a shadow. He is like a shadow.
If I stay in the shadows for too much longer, I'm going to have to start reviewing music, though, and I know even less about music than I do about movies, so that's not a good thing. So, and JVR tipped $5 through Super Chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No message, but the gold bars are falling down into the jar.
Still appreciative nonetheless.
Okay, good. Oh man, it just knocked all the little subscriber demonetization symbols out of the jar.
Oh.
Yay! Gold comes in, demonetization symbols fly out. I feel like there's a message here. Maybe we're looking at a very good winter. Maybe
I'm just like, was that a good thing or a bad thing? Because I honestly can't tell right now.
Darth Necrosis asks, Creepy, I have a question. Watching some of your old reviews and watched your Labyrinth and you mentioned Dark Crystal later. Wondering if you did and I'm missing it or lost in YouTube purgatory. Let me get the light real quick.
Sure.
Well, while Decker runs for the hills and
turns on the lights.
Turns on the lights, gets the lighting in his surroundings working properly. That was one thing that we intended to do, and then it just sort of fell by the wayside. Not a lot of people really asked for it, It was just like we were reviewing a bunch of movies that we thought were cool. This was in 2014, I think, when I was going through a really weird phase where I was like, I had lost my first channel, it got deleted, I was trying to build my base back up, and I honestly just did not know what to do with myself on YouTube right then, because I just felt kind of adrift, and I was trying something different. I was trying to review movies, so I just threw it out there that, hey, we might review Dark Crystal one day, and it just sort of, it turned into a thing. I think the reboot has, brought the movie back into people's minds now.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't, like a screw you sort of thing. It's just that in 2015, Yama had the idea, hey, we should do an episode-by-episode retrospective of X-Men, and then that started, and of course we started doing Batman, and then I wanted to do Gem, and I wanted to review all of the Garfield specials, so that became the channel's new theme, and doing movies just sort of fell by the wayside, at least until the Scooby-Doo retrospective moved into the Scooby film, so
yeah.
There's that too.
Diego... I'm sorry, I was going to say that we have a £2 donation from Canadian Bonky Bonkers. Bonnie Bonkers. There we go. Canadian
Thank you very
Bonnie
much.
Bonkers. So thank you.
Diego Moreno asks, didn't you cameo on Nostalgia Critic once? And not as far as I know. I don't know if there's a clip somewhere used of me in somewhere, but I wouldn't think so. I never heard anything about that until now. There was a clip. There was a clip of my Predator reaction review used by Mauler in his "The Predator on Unbridled Rage" video.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm perfectly fine with that. He didn't ask permission, but it's a clip just like I use of anything else. So I think it'd be kind of hypocritical for me to be like, why? And also he was using me to express a similar sentiment and expressing my sentiment as I intended it. So, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It wasn't taken out of context or anything. That was kind of cool.
No, there was also a possibility that maybe I think I remember that there was a video that someone from Manic Expression posted highlighting James, and I think that there were clips of Malcolm and Doug in there with Creepy in there, trying to give shout outs to James, I think in honor of the Creative Chaos documentary, if I recall. That could be a possibility.
Astral185 asks, Dr. Shadow, how was your Friday the 13th? Spent most of it playing Borderlands 3. But other than that, also did a crossover with Creepy that I posted on the community tab that you might have seen. The 13th Ghost of Scooby-Doo. The Curse of the 13th Ghost. It was a 13th Ghost of Scooby-Doo with the series from 1985 that it was finishing with the Curse of the 13th Ghost Scooby-Doo film. Scooby-Doo and the Curse of the 13th. There's a lot of Doo and Scoobies and Ghosts and 13s. I'm getting very confused.
Yeah.
Which went up on Friday the 13th to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the franchise.
Yes,
and it was a full moon. Everything was just coming together.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of weird. There was Friday the 13th. It was the 50th anniversary of Scooby-Doo, and there was a harvest moon.
If any of you played Darkest Dungeon, my fiancé played Darkest Dungeon for a little bit. Didn't really get into it. I don't know.
I've never played it.
The repressed Scooby-Doo memories of Decker's Shadow. Yes. Could you please do Operation Condor, asks JVR for $5. Thank you very much. Operation Condor is not one that I've got for the setup on the summer special. Is that a Jackie Chan movie? I don't know.
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah.
So it's not one that I've got on the docket for the summer special. There's only 1 week left of the summer special, and I've got something else I mean, should I mention what it is? I don't know. There's only a little less than 80 people watching right now. And all the gold bars keep missing. So
yeah, Operation Condor wasn't like one of his better known films. Like Jackie Chan is typically known for mixing martial arts action with comedy. So you know, those are the movies, at least in America, it seems like those are the movies that he's most famous for. So
exactly.
Operation Condor was more of a straight up action flick. So
yeah, the film to be finishing off the summer of Jackie Chan is going to be this little let's call it a gem.
Ooh.
Bleeding Steel.
I thought it was going to be the remake of Karate Kid.
Oh, well, that would have been a much better choice. This one is it's from 2017. It's a more recent Jackie Chan movie. It's considered to be like the latest police story movie or side story of Police Story.
Okay.
The original soundtrack had a lot more Police Story cues to it. But it is just weird as all hell. It's like, I don't want to spoil the review before I script it, but I'm just saying, like, the story was weird, but kind of could be put together in a way that at least made sense in following it in film form, but that's not what they did.
Huh.
They tried to put it forth about as convoluted as they could. So even though the story hardly made sense in the first place, they did not make you help. They did not help in the understanding department.
I see.
So it's like,
And I had Decker telling me about all of this after he watched.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Really nice comment from Rough Planet, who says, I'm talking about being openly gay in a huge chat. Now I'm a little scared, but yeah, thanks for helping me cope, guys. Homophobic dad. Thank you for Decker and Creepy. You guys helped me a lot.
Well, it's like the one person that you have to have, the one person you have to make sure accepts you for who you are is yourself, because that's the person that you are going to have to live with for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life.
True. And this is Decker who's telling you, by the way.
I've had family. I've had adoptive family. I've had all kinds of different family. I've got those that I can go back to, those that I can't go back to, and the one thing that has been stable throughout my whole life is I am me. Mm-hmm. So,
well spoken.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
I'm as stable as you can think I am.
Sometimes family, especially if they're the kind that won't accept you for who you are, they're not the ones who are going to be there to support you, and they're the ones who are going to be there to help you in your time of need. So if you could be surrounded by other people who can help you, whether it be friends or whether it be co-workers or anything like that, then, you know, if you consider them family, then that's perfectly fine as well.
No one can be stable after Requiem. Okay, fair enough.
It's been my own experience that this is true for a lot of people, especially people who struggled with finding acceptance with their own family, they went out and made their own, you know, and I feel that's perfectly okay. In fact, you know what? Sometimes that's the best thing that can happen to you.
We got a question on Twitch from Roger Zero saying, "Hey man, I love your work. Quick question. Do you think they, Paramount, Paul W.S. Anderson, will ever release the original cut of Event Horizon? Figure you might like the film given your horror background. Apparently, during an interview at Comic-Con 2012, Anderson revealed the producer Lloyd Levlin had found the original cut of the film on a VHS. However, nothing has been heard of it since." That's interesting.
It kind of reminds me of the producer's cut from Halloween 6.
Yeah, that existed, just passed around on VHS for the longest time.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a good chance, but it's it would I feel like the best chance for that would be if Event Horizon got a big re-release. Like Halloween is a big, very popular franchise with many entries in it, so that's one reason why the producer's cut just would not die.
Right.
That and the fact, Michael Myers.
Sure. But yeah, I think that lost media tends to be like really popular, especially online. That for dedicated fans who are able to like find something and can be able to bring it back long enough into the mainstream that eventually demand for it will be resurface into the public eye, and then they'll be like, if people want this, then yeah. I think that a lot of films over the past few years have gone through something similar. TV shows that have been considered to be lost, whether it be like from recordings or something like that, have been rediscovered. I mean, Quantum Leap, I think, was an example about how I think the original alternative ending or something was like, the negatives of it were discovered like 30 years after it was like off the air.
You mean that had a real ending?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dear God!
Obscurus Lupa. Did
Yes, she was the one.
On yeah, Alison Pregler. She did a whole video on that,
about it. Yeah.
Because I remember, I used to watch Quantum Leap like relatively frequently. Never saw the whole thing from start to finish, but I saw enough chunks of it that I got a good idea of how the series goes. And the final episode, that was always just kind of a big letdown because it was more sort of like the writers and cast getting together to be like, yeah, we had a good run, and then roll credits.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, exactly.
I found the whole concept of it cool, like the last episode, where he leaps into like himself, like he looks in the mirror, he's in this bar, he looks in the mirror, and it's himself, and he's just like, there's all this surreal stuff happening, and he feels like he's having this bit of deja vu, and he's trying to piece it all together, and the bartender may or may not have been the force that was guiding him on his leaps to change history for the better. I mean, it's kind of goofy, I guess, but at the same time, I don't know. I kind of like it. But and I caught that episode like completely by chance. Like that was I turned on the TV. I was flipping through the 4 channels that we had, and I ended up turning to Quantum Leap, and I saw that episode. But speaking of old shows that were like have never been released on DVD or anything like that, I found 2 of them. I found 2 of them via YouTube. Someone had uploaded them to YouTube. Like these only had like one of them only had 7 episodes. One had only 7 episodes, and the other one had 13, like 10 or 13 maybe. But like they uploaded them to YouTube, and I was like, yoink, get them real quick before they get taken down. One of them was an episode called. One of them was a series called Dolphin Cove that I remember I really loved when I was a little kid. And I'm sorry, Dicker, what are you miming?
Just over. Where did the chat go? Okay, Brandon Kilgore asked, "What is that, Tara? Timmy is trapped in the barn?" And Brad Feltz adds, "Tara needs a small podium from which to address the chat."
Thank you. Sorry about that, by the
Tara?
way. Yeah.
You want to go
It's
out?
official. I mean, at this point, Tara should be our official mascot for Live and Wired.
I think Tara wants me to open the door to let her out, but she's going to want me to open the door to let her back in about 2 minutes.
Right.
So,
Typical of cats.
Just a second.
But like there was this one show I saw called Dolphin Cove. It was about a girl who was mute, but she had like the ability to telepathically talk to dolphins.
Interesting.
And there was this other one called The 100 Lives of Blackjack Savage, where it was actually a Disney feature where this Wall Street tycoon gets arrested for dirty dealings, flees Manhattan before he can go to trial to the Caribbean, where he ends up buying a castle that's haunted by the ghost of a 300-year-old pirate. Like a pirate that was executed 300 years ago. And now the two have to team up with each other to try and save 100 people so they can basically buy their way out of hell, because that's how it works, apparently.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
All right. I have no idea what I just walked into.
It's you don't need to.
Edwin says, Zach, I remember you never told us you were in LA. I didn't say I was going until I happened to be there. But I did mention that I was there, I think. Like, if you were paying attention to my Instagram and you knew where those fast food joints were located, then you would have known. I'm very bad at actually letting people know these kinds of things.
I would criticize him for this particular thing, but I'm bad at it too.
Okay,
Although
so
people did seem
yeah,
very
the
excited,
title the title of this episode is "It's Time to Stop."
Yes.
So that's kind of in reference to the fact that several things are being stopped and several things are being made that possibly should be stopped.
Where do we start?
Well, the big centerpiece of the title card is, of course, the Nintendo Ninja going up on ROM Universe.
Oh, yes, that's right. Oh boy. All right. So, yeah, we already know about Nintendo's reputation about like, hey, if there's a website that is putting up a bunch of ROMs of our video games, we're going to tell them to stop and we're going to sue the hell out of them. And yeah, they actually did that for this particular website. They did it for ROM Universe. So, for those who don't know what ROM Universe is, it was a website that had a whole bunch of emulators and ROMs that if you did pay a fee of, I think it was like $30 a year, then you can have access to unlimited ROMs of all the old classic games.
That's what they did. That's why they could get sued.
Yeah. Who would have thought that downloading illegal ROMs and then paying your
The thing is, downloading them, that's in an oddly gray area. Like, after the DMCA, it probably should still already be considered illegal based on the new rules. But for some reason, video game ROMs, I don't know if those are just... No one's taken that to court yet, or that was exempted or mistakenly exempted, or what?
I have no idea.
But
yeah, let's...
The basic concept is format shifting, and format shifting through a third party is technically still format shifting. So technically speaking, if you go online and there's a ROM of a game that you already own a physical copy of, you can download that, and that's not illegal, at least pre-DMCA, post-DMCA. That really should still be illegal based on my understanding of it, but I've never really dug into the DMCA's specific rules about video games. But the charging for it, the charging for access, that's where they fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, there was actually a really nice episode of Little Miss Gamer from over 10 years ago where the character of Little Miss Gamer actually tackles in that very same subject, that she was able to download some ROMs based off of like Atom Computers games that she grew up with, and then a character came on by and gave her a cease and desist saying that she's doing this illegally even though that she technically did own the games. And then she was talking about it, like how even though that she already owned the games, like sometimes emulating these games is a good thing because it's able to preserve gaming history.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, how many times are you going to say, hey, Atom is going to be releasing like some sort of Commodore computer mini console classic game, and it's going to have like all these games that you can be able to access. You're not going to hear that for sure. But we will talk about what's coming out.
There was actually
also,
a lot of...
We got a $2 super chat from Motorcycle US saying, second leap my hometown hitter for a Waco, Texas team.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I'm confused. Okay.
I think they're referring to baseball.
Also on Twitch, ASNPNESS, I think that's Asian Penis, says, creepy, I don't think I've ever seen you without some sort of hat on.
Yeah, so what's your Dora deck?
I don't know. You got the headphones. Do those count, or do you have to have like the little bandana under it?
Like
Planet just subscribed. Thank you.
Hat? Yeah, thank you. Do I have to go get the hat now? I mean, I feel like that's a serious issue now.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, my Motorcycle US is like Decker. Quantum Leap.
That's what
yes. Yeah.
All right.
I do
got
remember that.
ready, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, then. Here we go. Okay, so Nintendo seeking... here we go. Just scroll up. All right. Nintendo just filed a lawsuit against ROMUniverse.com, alleging that the site hosted free downloads of more than 3,200 different Nintendo games to as many as 400,000 viewers each month. According to a copy of the lawsuit obtained by Polygon, Nintendo of America is seeking $150,000 in damages for each infringement of its copyrighted works and $2 million for each infringement of a Nintendo trademark.
That's a hell of a lot of money for each.
Yeah.
Each 3,200. Like, okay, let me do something real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna calculate some shit here. So we got 3,200 Nintendo games, and they're looking for $150,000 each. So that's about $480 million there, plus $2 million for each infringement of a trademark. So, yeah, that's like every single time they have a Nintendo logo or the logo for a specific console that is trademarked. That compared to the initial 480 million. I mean, that's not going to be that much. $2 million for each trademark infringement. But we're looking at a good $500 million.
Sounds like Nintendo.
Yeah, sounds like Nintendo. They're the Disney of video game companies. Anyway, let's continue. Along with free downloads for thousands of pirated games, ROM Universe allegedly sold a $30 annual membership that would give visitors access to an unlimited number of downloads. Last year, Nintendo reached a $12.2 million settlement with an Arizona couple that ran similar websites, LoveRoms.com and LoveRetro.co. Let's see. Nintendo filed a copyright infringement lawsuit against the owners of ROMUniverse.com, a video game emulation website boasting 60,000 different games. Copy.
Hey, Tara just came back in the room.
Yeah. I think this is pretty much the same. Let me just see if I can reach out. Okay, here we go. We reached out to ROM Universe for a comment, though a representative of the site declined to speak with Polygon. Nintendo was not immediately available for comment. Let's see. I think that's pretty much the same thing. I think that this is pretty much a TLDR, just basically like little bullets of just what the whole article is about. So you get the drift. So yeah, essentially, Nintendo sued a wrong website for.
Okay, I clicked things in the wrong order. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
All right. Okay, yeah. So that's some expensive ass Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Talk about the fucking Switch tax, Jesus.
I'll say. And to be fair, for some of the emulated games,
Creepy, you take that shirt off right now. I don't want Nintendo coming after the stream.
I just wanted on record that Decker was the one who asked me to take my shirt off.
No, demanded.
Decker demanded that I take my shirt off.
Yeah, if this video is shut down by Nintendo, then you would know why, because we're unofficially sponsoring it with Creepy's shirt. Anyway, but
Fernando Caballero says, "Yeah, take it off, Creepy."
Well, it's you have a fan.
John Washburn's asking if we'll take it off for tips. I'm pretty sure that would get the whole stream shut down, possibly a strike on the channel. Also getting some questions on if we're doing a continuation of Godzilla vs. Mothra month with the new Godzilla movie, King of the Monsters, and any thoughts about that. Currently, my thoughts are it's a real fucking pain in the ass to rip in 4K. I've been having some issue difficulties, if you will. And it's just, I've been in between trying to get some things edited, some things processed. I've been trying to get the thing to rip, and it's been telling me, it'll take 15 hours, and then, like, 6 hours later, my computer will be like, done, and it gives me a corrupted file. I'm like, So, yeah, still working on trying to get that taken off. Yeah, it's been the most difficult one to rip so far, honestly.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, see, it's still not just completely giving up, so I'm hoping that maybe if I get a real good run, my ancient i7 will do its job, and there we go.
That's good.
Monster's too big to rip, quite possibly.
Yeah, I guess so.
Agent Penis says, Creepy, I'm going to need you to wear just the hat.
I'm pretty sure that will get us banned.
Okay, it's time to stop.
It's time to stop. I wish I had a giant clock with me. Oh well.
Now
All
I'm
right,
imagining Patricia running around with that giant-sized mallet like the character did in City Hunter, Decker.
Ah.
It's time to stop. All right, so let's go over to our next bit of news. So, I actually want to talk about this one. I want Creepy to read this because we were discussing about the 50th anniversary of Scooby Doo. So I guess I think this one was released about a few weeks ago, and I want to see if I can try to find the article. Here it is. So yeah, we finally got some new looks, and as to some of the characters, we had Shaggy last time, and we already saw what Scooby Doo looks like. So now we actually do know what Fred and Velma look like. So let me just put this on. And Tara's calling.
Tara?
New Scoob images.
Yes, let me just scroll down because there's a video playing, and I'm like, no. I want to get.
No.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Scooby Dooby Doo, where there's no need to ask that anymore, as the ghost-busting Great Dane is returning to the big screen next year for Scoob, an animated reboot of the dog and his mystery-incorporated cohorts. We're still waiting for a trailer to the movie, but various leaks have come our way recently that have given us our first look at the gang, or at least most of them. Today, however, we got a few new images which reveal the redesigns for Fred Jones and Velma Dinkley, as voiced by Zac Efron and Gina Rodriguez, respectively. Velma's look is very classic, though slightly modernized, while Fred's new outfit is considerably different from his traditional getup. As you can see below, his shirt and sweater combo has been for a tee and jacket and there is no sign of his orange ascot. We've already got a look at the film's Scooby and Shaggy, who will be played by veteran voice actor Frank Welker and Wolf, respectively, which means that we're just waiting for a look at Daphne Blake, who will be portrayed by Amanda Seyfried.
All right, so I'm going to scroll down, and here we go. This is the first one. So here's Gina Rodriguez, and Gina Rodriguez has been voicing because she's Carmen Sandiego.
Okay, breaking up a little bit.
Sorry. I was just saying that, it's nice to see Gina Rodriguez having a lot of voice because not only is she voicing Velma, but she's also voicing the new Carmen Sandiego series on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what do you think of this, Creepy? I think that she looks pretty spot on as Velma.
She does.
Oh, wait, and it's gone. Of course it is. And,
oh, crap.
Oh, goody. Thanks, touchscreen. Okay. Go ahead.
I can't do anything to fix this. Sorry.
Hold on. There we go. Is this better? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Now I'll continue, Creepy. I'm very sorry.
It's okay. It happens. We've had way worse technical difficulties than this.
Hey!
I like this look for Velma. I think that, honestly, the problem is more in, it's not the face itself that is the issue. It's more like the face doesn't have enough detail in it. It looks too smooth. It just doesn't have enough of the, little bumps and ridges and so forth. But overall, I can still say that for Velma, this is not bad. No, so it looks pretty good. I would like for there to be more detail in the face. Is all.
Okay, fair enough. All right, now we can go over to Fred.
We'll go.
There we go.
Fred.
There's Zac Efron as Fred.
The chin.
Holy hell! That chin. Okay.
Just imagine them coming up to a door with a padlock on a chain, and he just smashes that chin into it. It just shatters. And like, okay, gang, we can get in now.
Yep, pretty. That's exactly it. I'm like, good night. You could use that chin as a hammer.
I think his dad is Jay Leno.
Oh man, that's just.
We have a 199 comment from Monster Artist 1990. Working on a horror comic about an alien in a funhouse.
Also, there was another super chat before that, a $5 one, I think.
Oh, yes, there was. Motorcycle US says, I would buy for the old games from the company, but they don't release them. So what else should I do? Not many options there.
Yeah, there are quite a few games that just never get re-released. It's like, there's plenty of games on the Sega Genesis I remember growing up, but every time Sega says, okay, we're doing another classic Genesis Classics collection, they always have the same handful of games. It's like, I know about Rise Star. I didn't really care too much about Rise Star growing up. There's all these other games I really liked.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what about, like, Kid Chameleon? What about...
Well, that one does get thrown in a few things. And yeah, that was that was my jam. That was my jam.
Okay, go. Earthworm Jim 2 doesn't really get thrown in a lot of, Sega Genesis classics.
Oh.
All right, so I'm going to go to the next one. So there's Scoob.
Okay. He's a dog.
Like that. He looks like a noodle with legs. I'm serious. Like, look at his body. The way it's just sort of...
they didn't exactly pick a neutral position.
No, they did not. No, they did not.
Rough Planet saying they want Keanu Reeves Shaggy.
Whoa. Although I will say that might be in Keanu Reeves' acting range.
Asian Penis says, Hetty doesn't get enough... scrolled up for me. Okay, doesn't get recognized enough for the Genesis. And yeah, that's another one. That does get released on occasion on some collections, Dynamite Hetty.
Mm-hmm.
But it is one of the ones that it is if you're having a chance of getting Rise Star or Dynamite Hetty, 9 times out of 10 you're getting Rise Star.
Yeah. All right, so let's go over to the next one. And there's Muttley. So apparently Muttley is going to be in this movie for some reason.
And he looks like Muttley.
Yeah, he does look like Muttley.
Pretty good job there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it does make a lot of sense that there because, Scooby and Shaggy do show up on occasions for, let's see, what was I going to say? Like Scooby-Doo Laugh a Limp. And, Muttley was a character in Wacky Races with Dick Dastardly. So... Right. Okay, so I guess we're going to be having some more characters in there, so sure. And I did hear that the reboot of Wacky Races is actually really good. I did see a few people on Twitter talking about, like, some highlights of the series, so good. All right, so I think that should be it. There's not really much to show in that, so I'm just going to close this off. So, yeah, I think that there'll be some more information about it. I mean, as they said before, Daphne's the last one who hasn't been showcased yet. So, yeah. All right. So I guess we can go over to
Patrick Johnson says, oh my god, Hanna-Barbera Cinematic Universe confirmed.
It's kind of been that way since the beginning, to be quite honest. Yeah. I mean, oh, wait. Damn it. There we go. Camera keeps freezing over. It's been the Hanna-Barbera has always been like a cinematic universe anyway. Their Jetsons meets the Flintstones is a great example of that. Scooby-Doo meeting up with Blue Falcon and Dino-Mutt, and it keeps freezing.
Scott Yoshihara says they're in Las Vegas watching this. Hello.
Oh, nice.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm not sure if we're good or bad luck though.
Mm-hmm. Break a leg? No, that's for plays.
Okay. So.
Why isn't it loading?
Yeah.
Oh, great. That's just wonderful. All right. Okay, well, I get this camera to fix. I'll just... Let's talk about the next bit of news. So...
All right. Let's see.
Should we discuss about? I want Digger to actually discuss about this. This pretty crazy trailer for this upcoming movie. So, I mean, there's like a whole bunch of killer things. There's killer clowns. There's, killer everything. So, here it is. I found it. So, what would you expect if I were to tell you the story? Okay, there we go. Now it's back. Yay. Okay, so
Hooray!
yay. Okay, so what if I told you that there is an upcoming movie about a killer sofa? Yeah, a killer sofa. You wouldn't believe that, right? But yes, there's a trailer out for a crazy horror movie based off of a killer sofa, and it's coming out, I think, either this month or next month on demand. Let me just see if I can pull it up. Um, Come on. It's not working for me. Of course, it's not. What else is new?
Okay, so Killer Sofa. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Eddie Herta says, "That's my couch." Oh boy.
Couch potatoes of the world, beware. Your sofa has had enough. Decker's like, I use a computer desk chair.
Pretty much. When's the last time I've sat on a sofa? That's actually really concerning. Okay. Killer Sofa brings you the most relaxing way to die this Halloween season. That's not a sofa, that's a recliner.
Well, I guess,
But it will give
killer,
you.
I guess Killer Recliner wouldn't have been a catchy title.
Ah.
I don't know. All
But
right,
it will
so-
give
I
you
have sat
proper
on those.
lumbar
I'm dead.
support. It will give
All
you
right,
proper lumbar support, though. So there's
Yes.
that.
Okay.
You know.
Don't sit on the furniture. Horror movies have turned all sorts of inanimate objects into sadistic killers over the years, and up next, it's a seemingly harmless sofa that becomes a monster in Killer Sofa. From director Bernardo Rao, Killer Sofa comes to DVD and digital in October. Electric Dreams meets Christine in a heartwarmingly horrific chronicle of a killer lazy boy that falls in love with a Goyle, and the bloody carnage that follows as a result. Francesca always attracted weirdos. When one of her stalkers is found dead, she looks for comfort from her best friend, Maxie. Meanwhile, Maxie's grandfather, Jack, a disgraced rabbi, comes across a reclining chair containing a book inside. It's something. Okay.
It's called a Dybbuk.
Jack and his voodoo sorceress partner try to try to find out where the recliner has been delivered while exploring Jack's newfound gift for communicating with the other world. Meanwhile, the reclining chair becomes enchanted by Francesca and starts committing crimes of passion. Crimes of passion. That sofa has a heart, and they've been playing with it, and it doesn't appreciate it. Oh boy. Check out the trailer
So
and high octane pictures below.
Okay, so this is the trailer, and this is Killer Sofa. Don't sit on the furniture. So there you go. What will they think of next?
Oh man.
Okay. Okay, that's it. I'm out. This is
think
not a
Decker
good
gave
center of gravity.
Nope.
Okay.
I think this information may have broken Decker on a physics level.
Oh boy. Read by Nature saying laid back, comfy, and deadly. Eddie Herta's like, relax and die. Everyone's coming up with much better little taglines for this.
Then don't sit on the sofa.
Yeah, don't sit on the furniture. Oh boy. Oh boy. And asking, why is the E in killer so weird?
Your guess is fine.
Don't know.
Dr. Doom says, quality, comfort, and death. That's nice. Oh boy. Oh boy. Monster Artist 1999 is asking, Creepy and Decker, may I give you both a cameo in my comic?
Oh.
Creepy, thoughts? Your camera's moving. Patricia's frozen, but I can see you moving.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait. I was like, my camera's moving. My camera's not moving. Oh, wait, never mind. A cameo in someone's video? I guess I could do that.
No, in their comic.
Oh, in their comic. Oh, you were breaking up a little bit there. You're sorry about that.
That is a lie.
Sure.
Hollow666 is asking, doing what? I don't know. I'm missing a lot of the chat. Kill Cushion. This boy ain't lazy no more. Oh God. Corey2000 is asking, is Killer Sofa the sequel to Deathbed, the bed that eats, that we all wanted?
I don't know. I mean,
oh boy.
I guess we should have like a versus.
Oh, these are all much better little taglines. Patrick Johnson says, the movie that will have you on the edge of your seat before it eats you.
That is a good one. I approve of that one. That is a good one. But yes, I suppose I'd like to... Patricia, are you with us?
I'm still
Leave me
here.
alone with him.
Hey.
I'm still here, but my camera is like... My camera is like...
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Sorry.
It happens.
Which do I hate more, Scrappy or Flim Flam? Well, knee-jerk reaction wants to say Scrappy because I didn't mind Flim Flam in the new movie, but at the same time, if they did have, hey, here's Scrappy as an adolescent, and he's matured and grown, and here's some other stuff, and he's actually kind of an interesting guy now, you give him a chance. Maybe Scrappy will edge that one out. Maybe Scrappy will be less insufferable than Flim Flam overall.
That's actually a really interesting question. I don't know. I kind of find them both annoying and kind of irritating and unnecessary, to be quite honest. But I don't know if I hate one or the other. I just find them kind of like, I don't really care.
Yeah. Like, 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo was like the pinnacle of superfluous characters in the franchise, because on the one hand, by the 13, I still missed the original members. I was still sad that they weren't there, but I did like that Daphne had assumed the leadership position, and I did like, and Scrappy had sort of, they had hammered out the problems with his character, and that he was a character in his own right. It felt like, on the other hand, though, you had Flim Flam, and even worse than Flim Flam, you had Bogle and Weird.
Yeah. Lupu Chilo says Uncle Yabba. Oh,
oh boy.
from Scooby and Scrappy. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the bane of Creepy's existence, Scooby Dumb.
But, one of the things that could really help Scrappy and Scooby-Dum out is if they did, like, a gritty reboot with death and pain and horror.
If they died, then sure.
On that note.
They actually did do that, Decker. It was an episode of Supernatural called Scooby Natural.
That's right.
Which I have reviewed already.
Yes, I remember.
And now Decker looks disappointed.
Aw. All right. Well, please, Decker, why don't you tell us about our lovely Twitter poll?
Well, I was thinking that we were going to go over the Are You Afraid of the Dark news before that.
Oh, right.
Right. Yes, let's...
Patricia, this is your wheelhouse, so you may have the honors if you would like.
Hollow666 is asking, what kind of childhood did Decker have? That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I still don't really know. Oh.
That is an excellent question, by the way.
It's like the first couple of years is out living in the woods, like in a literal hole in the ground. One of those mounds they have in Vermont that no one quite knows where they came from or who built them. That was where I lived. In one of those mounds in the woods. One of those mysterious mounds that no one fucking knows what they are. That was where I lived.
All right.
Up until moving to an actual upstairs apartment in a little house while my father worked at a liquor store. And would occasionally, like every day or so, beat the shit out of me. While at the same time I would starve pretty badly. I usually have like 3 pieces of bread in the morning and 3 pieces of bread at night. Which is, those were good days. Those were good days. But still, they say man cannot live on bread alone. And I know they don't mean that as in because it's really lacking in nourishment and you're going to run into problems in the long run if you try to do that for 8 years. But that does actually work out that way. And so eventually, around like 7, 8, my mother was like, okay, that's it, we're out. And moved down to Pennsylvania. And then they kind of tried to integrate into society and things were just awkward for some strange reason. No one quite knew how to deal with me and I didn't know how to deal with anyone else. So, that's that.
Yeah. I'm very sorry about that, Dick.
As I'm still here.
That's true. You are still here, and you're better that you're able to survive and thrive into the person that you are. So you know what?
And I found that an odd little thing about me compared to a lot of other people I notice is like when I find some person and they're acting in a way that a lot of people feel like that's just a crazy person, a bad person, you don't want to deal with that person. I'm thinking, okay, I start trying to dissect their mind, like, okay, so this is based on your idea with this and that, and you're taking this way, so this is your understanding here. And it's like, okay. And I've actually, like, if I am given enough time, I'm able to actually communicate with a lot of people pretty well. I don't know. Am I related to Bear Grylls? Nah, his morning drinks are a lot healthier than what I had to deal with. Oh, well.
All right. Well, I actually do have the article ready right before we go over to the Twitter poll. So, submitted for the approval of Live and Wired. I call this article, "Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Trailer Released."
Oh, crap. Wrong button. There we go. Okay. Okay, so since it's for the approval of Live and Wired, I would like to hear in the chat if anyone approves of this.
After weeks of offering horror fans small teasers, the first official trailer of the upcoming Are You Afraid of the Dark miniseries reboot has debuted. The upcoming series is set to embrace 2 major trends in the world of horror, which is the effectiveness of anthology horror series and 90s nostalgia, while offering audiences a family-friendly yet frightening experience. The new series looks to be making a slight twist to the premise of the original series, which offered little in the way of a narrative thread outside of the episodic stories, with this new approach seemingly delivering fans an update on the concept of the overall storyline for the Midnight Society. Through 3-hour-long episodes, the series introduces an entirely new Midnight Society group of kids who tell a terrifying tale
3 episodes that are hours. Okay.
Yeah,
I got scared for a second.
Yes,
you're gonna have to schedule watching this show, okay?
Right. Yes. Originally, Are You Afraid of the Dark miniseries was supposed to be a TV movie, but because of the length, and I'm sure that they wanted to include like some, like a deeper. Deeper storytelling, because the previous ones were like pretty short. They decided to do it into a mini series instead. So it's something not akin to like the Jungle movie or the Legends of the Hidden Temple movie, Invaders Zim Enter the Floorpits.
There was a Legends of the Hidden Temple movie?
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
Did everyone get stuck at the Shrine of the Silver Monkey again?
Yes, they did. For 8 hours.
Oh, and you just know the purple parrots in that movie were cosmically screwed. Like, they never won a single game, so in this movie, they're dead.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So in the movie, the kids were trying to put the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. It was like daytime, and then it was like 8 hours later, and it's at night. And
Oh,
so they
God.
decided, like, screw this, we're gonna go to sleep. And then the next morning, they were able to put it together so easily, and then the temple opened. So yeah, there you go.
Oh,
I
God. Now I have to see this.
Yes, it's actually a pretty decent movie. Especially if you were a fan of the series, they do have references to, the teams. There are actually, purple parrots flying in the air. There's blue barracudas swimming around in like the little lake. Kirk Fogg appears as like a kind of like an amusement park. A co-worker who actually works for the actual temple himself. Olmec is the voice of the talking stonehead, and you actually do get to see the human form of Olmec, which
Really?
is it's actually pretty interesting. And they tell like this it kind of like expands the story of Olmec.
If his face is still animated the same way, that might not be the best thing.
No. It's actually like it's a pretty realistic Incan, man. So it's
Okay.
not. I mean, the Olmec statue, it actually does look really good. So yeah, there's like little nice Easter eggs for those who are fans of the show. So I recommend you should check it out. Let me see. $2 from Motorcycle US. Monsters, Twilight Zone, or Tales from the Dark Side?
Oh, which series of Twilight Zone?
Yeah, that's a good point. Are you talking about the 60s version, the 80s version, the 2003 version, or the 2017-18 version? There's a lot of versions.
Yeah.
The one I know most is the original,
Yeah.
and a lot of those, it's there. A lot of the episodes I wouldn't consider to be great, but it was a really nice style of horror where they went more psychological. Just because back then you can't have blood, guts, and dismemberment on TV. What are you, psychotic?
Right.
Although I will say that honestly the stories were better.
Well, they had to work within those constraints, and they still worked on making it scary, and that's really where the flavor of the original series was.
Right. It was more about building atmosphere and suspense.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me just read this. I'm very sorry, everybody. We were talking about legends, and then it came to this.
We got off on a tangent.
And someone was asking who sound. I think Nicole 7891 was asking. Yeah, who sounds like they're barking when they laugh? I think that's me.
All right, let me just continue. The new members of the Midnight Society are Gavin, played by Sam Ash Arnold from Best Worst Weekend Ever, Akiko, played by Maya Sech from Rim of the World, Always Be My Maybe, Louise, played by Tamara Smart from Artemis Fowl and The Worst Witch. I take it the remake Worst Witch, not the original from the 90s. Right. Graham, played by Jeremy Taylor from It, Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween, and Rachel, played by Liliana Ray from Top Gun Maverick. Oh, yeah, that's a thing. And Blackish. The Carnival of Doom's ringmaster, Mr. Top Hat, is played by Rafael Casal from Blind Spotting. The Are You Afraid of the Dark limited series is produced by Ace Entertainment, To All the Boys I Loved Before, and The Perfect Date, with Ace founder Matt Kaplan and Spencer Berman serving as executive producers. The series is written by Ben David Grabinski from Skip Trace and directed by Dean Israelite from the Power Rangers movie and Project Almanac, both whom executive produce. Inspired by the classic art of storytelling, Nickelodeon's original Are You Afraid of the Dark series ran from 1992 to 1996 and 1999 to 2000 and broke the mold by exploring a whole new genre of entertainment. One of the network's most iconic series from the 90s, Are You Afraid of the Dark, delivered riveting stories of horror to young audiences, all from a kid's perspective. Are You Afraid of the Dark was created by DJ McHale and Ned Candle. Stay tuned for details for the Are You Afraid of the Dark miniseries before it debuts this October. So it's coming out next month.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's actually... and this thing's not popping up again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Also, got a comment from Kaiju Nerd United official channel saying, Decker and Creepy, acknowledge my existence! I fucking love you guys! Hi.
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 Also, headphone warning.
Yeah, a
Too late.
little late on that.
So yeah,
Uh,
new Are You Afraid of the Dark? Darker, grittier, deadlier, horror.
I will say that I am a bit excited for this. I mean, I can remember just how huge this show was back in the 90s. And, like, there were actual kids who formed their own midnight societies and did this in real life, who, like, met up and told scary stories to one another just so they could emulate the Midnight Society and Are You Afraid of the Dark? But yeah, like, anytime there was a new Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, like, Nickelodeon just spam promoed the hell out of it. Like, you would see like a bumper or a commercial or something for it, letting you know, yeah, by the way, there's a new Are You Afraid of the Dark tonight
Yeah.
or this weekend or whatever. You know, it's like, make sure you watch this, and people are like we weren't going to.
Yeah, it was one of the definitive shows on Snick, that's for sure.
Oh
And
yeah, definitely.
yeah, a lot of people still remember it, whether it be and it's frozen again. Oh well. There's the tale of. I know. I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's just Darth Necrosis said, at least Decker didn't turn on the vacuum again.
Yeah, there's Tale of Laughing in the Dark with Zeebo the Clown. That's a famous
Right.
one.
Yeah.
And it's frozen again.
Man.
Then there's let's see. There's all the episodes that feature Mr. Sardo and Dr. Vink.
Dr. Vink with a
Yes. Then there's let's see, the Tale of the Super Specs, in which you put on the glasses and you get to see like these like dark guys just walking around, and the Tale of the Dangerous Soup, where people who are like obsessed with this soup that is in a restaurant, and when they eat it, their greatest fears are revealed to them when they go inside this dark room. And then there's the story about the kid going into the basement and it's haunted by this creature, and so he decides to let down a bully downstairs and he completely disappears, and then out comes his uncle's bike, because that's the spirit of the uncle who's haunting the basement. Then yeah, there's a lot of
Did he just kill that kid?
Yeah,
he killed that
He
kid.
just straight up killed that kid.
Yeah, that was what happened in the episode.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
It's just such a murder by supernatural proxy. It's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I just said, okay, go in my basement. He was like, all right, I don't see a problem with this.
And got a bike out of it. So he indirectly murdered someone through supernatural means and was rewarded for it.
Okay.
And all in the name of Nickelodeon.
Yes. And then there's the episode that a lot of people have actually questioned on whether M. Night Shyamalan was inspired by this. The Tale of the Dream Girl, where a guy named Johnny sees this girl whom he's never met in his life, and the girl saying, "Johnny, come back to me, Johnny." And then, he's trying to put the pieces together about who this girl is, and everybody's like treating him very strangely with the exception of his sister. Everybody's ignoring him. Nobody's like talking to him. And then he finds out that the girl who's been after him she's dead. And then he decides that he's going to meet up with her because she gave him a ring and saying, like, "Come back to me, Johnny, meet me here." And then it turns out, she meets up at his gravestone, her gravestone. She meets up at her gravestone, and then he decides to look into it, and it turns out his name is there too. So the entire time, Johnny's been dead. And then he puts it all together, saying, like, the girl who's been with him is his girlfriend, and they both died in a car accident while they were going out on a date. And he didn't have any recollections of the accident or of her, and then his memory starts coming back, and so he decides to accept his fate and walk back with his girlfriend into the afterlife. And a lot of people think that maybe M. Night Shyamalan was inspired by Sixth Sense with this episode, but it's still a massive debate. Nobody really knows for sure.
It's still, we've talked about this episode before, and I said that, the problem with The Sixth Sense was
Matthew Lemons is like, spoilers?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
Yes, I am very sorry.
Episode. It is a great episode, though. You should definitely watch it. We talked about this, I think, last year. And,
we did talk about this last year. Yeah, that was when the problem with... Oh, and if you're wondering about the bike, because somebody was asking, a 1950s bike, from what I remember.
Patricia, your audio was cutting in and out. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody was asking on the chat how cool was the bike. I think it was like a 1950s bike, from what I remember, because it did belong to his own.
Monster Artist 1999 is asking, do I have an obscure 80s horror film that I want them to reference? I presume for the comic. Now I'm thinking, like, okay, it's got to be a good one, but it's also got to be something that people actually know what the hell it is. Because if it's too obscure, then it's just going to go over everyone's heads.
How about Rock and Roll Nightmare? I mean, you haven't reviewed that one, but I did. You could just like the ongoing van scene that never stops. It's like 10 minutes of nothing but one van drive.
Oh man, that's just reminding me of, God, what was that? Night Train to Terror, which was technically like just chunks of other movies,
right?
That was just thrown into, and it was put with that train with the people singing and dancing on the train with God and Satan playing chess, and they're just like, and then God's at the end, like, and Satan's like, hey, these rock and rollers, they're mine. They're all about like that Satan life. And then God's like, I don't know, I kind of like them. Let them in heaven. And Satan's like,
curses and more curses.
And all the curses.
But yeah, he was also referred to as Mr. Satan. So it might have just been like an odd little offshoot of Dragon Ball. I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
That's true. That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
But like you could have Decker dancing around on playground equipment, singing "Dance with me, dance with me."
I'm pretty sure that's a little heavy of a reference. Just a simple little reference. He's asking everyone in the chat now for any kind of 80s horror film. They're like, okay, Decker is good. This asking Decker thing is not working out. Anyone have an idea, please?
Just draw Decker with chainsaw hands.
Oh, Reanimator. Paul Grillo's got a nice one there. Reanimator.
There's also Killer Brain. The brain, I think. Yeah, the brain is a good one. It's about a killer brain that has sharp teeth and eats people.
Just draw Decker with chainsaw hands.
The killer's
and
amazing.
the body count has rised. The body count is rising.
There
Go
you
with something simple.
Yes.
E.T. Well, I guess so.
It's not obscure. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That's a good one.
Okay, but yes, there is that live and/or wired poll.
Yes, before we get to that, I want to apologize for the spoilers. I'm sorry. I guess I didn't mean to go in depth with it. I thought that most people knew about that plot twist.
I'm pretty sure it was a joke, Patricia.
Oh. Well, I mean, but seriously though, I mean, if there were some who didn't know, then I'm sorry.
But live and wired poll. Which classic children's show do you think should get a gritty horror-themed reboot? 4 choices. Number 1, we have Hey Arnold.
Yeah!
Hey Arnold, look out behind you! Number 2, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, admittedly already a little horror-themed, but not gritty, not nearly at all.
No, it's more of a comedy, but yeah, let's make it more gritty.
Number 3, something that's not technically horror-themed at all, but it was strangely scary, at least to me. Cow and Chicken.
That's brilliant, by the way, yes. If you want to know how they're able to get their pork butts and tater tots, you'll find out the dark, gritty tale of it.
And finally, classic choice number 4, Tiny Toons. Having some serious adventures now. 30 minutes on Twitter at Decker Shadow starting now. I will be sharing the link out to the chat.
Yeah. Excellent choices, by the way, because I could definitely see like a dark, twisted depiction of all of these.
I could see like a ghost story for Hey Arnold, in a Stranger Things vibe. The grim adventures of Billy and Mandy would be like Final Destination, where they're older now. The Grim Reaper has gotten out of his contract, and now he's back, and he's here for revenge to try and kill Billy and Mandy for all the humiliating things they made him do.
Cow and Chicken.
Cow and Chicken, like, that could just be some insane, surreal slasher villain shit. I mean,
Nicole7891 is saying, what about Ren and Stimpy? But wasn't that technically an adult's cartoon before it became a children's cartoon?
Well,
it was on MTV, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but technically it's not like, I mean, it wasn't like horror. I mean, you can't really think of any. There's like the haunted house episode in which Ren and Stimpy do go into the haunted house, and then they don't even know that there's a ghost who's trying to scare them. He's just that incompetent of a ghost. And I'm not, you know what? I'm not even going to say the spoilers just because it's, you know, in case people don't want to know about the spoilers, but it's really weird.
What about Gargoyles?
Gargoyles would be really awesome.
That would be terrifying, and I'd love every minute of it. And every actual Gargoyles fan would probably hate the reboot, but I don't care so much. I'm just gonna be like, yeah,
yeah.
You do realize you would have Chibi Thulu eating your brain for saying
it'll be worth it.
And he means
Did you just say it will be worth it?
It'll be worth it.
Be worth it.
Yeah.
I'm very afraid that this is going to turn into a meme now.
Okay, Nicole7891 says Stimpy chased his skin around. That's pretty horrible to me. I remember the Happy Joy episode. That was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, the happy helmets, yeah.
Yeah.
The probably the most like the most kind of uncomfortable episode for me personally in the original
Street Sharks, oh god.
Street Sharks. Yeah, but for Ren and Stimpy, the most uncomfortable one was definitely Ren Needs Help. Not to be confused with Ren Seeks Help from Ren and Stimpy Adult Party cartoon. Ren Needs Help was when Ren was having a bit of he was having some like lashes at Stimpy, and so he decides to go over to like this hospital. And, he claims that everything is, like, perfect and happy, and he claims that he gets, like, 5-course meals, but it turns out he's eating sawdust, and Ren has a lobotomy.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
a lobotomy.
Oh, Kat says, what about the one where Ren goes crazy in space and he eats the soap?
Oh, that's Space Madness, yes. That's actually my favorite episode.
Oh, Brad Felt says, I am Weasel.
Oh, yeah. That was a spin-off of Cow and Chicken.
That was kind of like a teen cartoon, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, it was very weird. It was essentially like you have this really dumb baboon and this very intelligent weasel.
IR baboon.
Yes.
He's getting sent on that mission to space. To go to the sun. Mars. Land on the sun. I Am Weasel told him he would die. And IR baboon pointed out it was a night mission, therefore no danger.
It just goes to show you he wanted him to die.
Yes. Paul Grillo says SWAT Cats would be awesome, and Biker Mice from Mars. Yeah, that would be awesome to see a gritty reboot, especially SWAT Cats. I know that the Tremblay brothers actually did a Kickstarter many years ago to see if they could be able to pitch a SWAT Cats series. They pitched it over to Cartoon Network and Netflix and all these places, but they've been rejected and turned down. The project hasn't been heard of for a long time, and we don't even know what happened.
I'm still kind of disappointed about that. Although I really wish they would have done something about those shoulder pads, because they had spikes on those pads that came out to like here. And I'm just like, how are they supposed to turn their heads or move or anything? They will kill people just by walking down the street.
Kamachi Viper saying, add a gritty reboot of Cat Dog. I'm thinking that would be a prequel. How did Cat Dog be made?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because even though the series finale, where Cat Dog was trying to search for for their parents, it didn't really get answered. You know what? Forget it. I'm not going to say the spoiler. Yeah. But for Cat Dog's origin, that's a good question. Were they born that way? Were they created? Were they? I don't know. Your question is as good as mine. So.
And now I'm just picturing this whole thing revolving around an insane gene splicer working out of a vet's office or like a pound or something, where he's experimenting on animals and ends up creating a cat-dog hybrid.
I would just assume it would be Dr. Forrester from Mystery Science Theater 3000. I remember in the Mitchell episode that introduced the new host, they who Mike, what was it, Mike something, the guy who's still doing it with and was always a writer on the series and is still doing it with riff tracks.
Oh, okay, I know what you're referring to.
Well, when he was introduced as the new human experiment in Mystery Science Theater 3000 on the Mitchell episode, but they were doing a whole bunch of cleaning around the mad scientist laboratory, and Dr. Farster brought out his old Evil Oaks science experiment, the double butt graft.
Oh,
where he grafted the butt of a dog onto the butt of a cat. I'm sure they all laughed.
Okay.
Sure.
Damn it! I don't know what it is. Whippersnappers.
I think you're. Here it is. Michael J. Nelson.
Mike Nelson. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, Kevin Murphy is Tom Servo, and Bill Corbett is Crow T. Robot.
And the original host effectively was Joel Hodgson under the name Joel Robinson.
Right. And he's still doing Mystery Science Theater 3000, doing it on Netflix, and they're actually doing a national tour. In fact, they're actually going to be appearing at my local theater in November. I'm planning on actually getting a ticket for that. Yeah, it's the Mystery Science Theater Cheesy Circus Tour. That's what they're calling it.
Motorcycle US just dropped a $2 super chat saying, Decker, the Gargoyle clan versus a Predator clan. Now, what kind of Predator clan are we talking about here? Are we talking about like a Predator 2 Predator clan where they got all their like stuff and they're like going down into New York and they're like standing on the gargoyle perches with their combi sticks like, Arr! Or are we talking like the Predator clan where they're just gonna like grab a gargoyle and suck out his spine juice and then turn half gargoyle? And they're like, this is great power, and then the sun comes out and they're like, shit!
Why didn't we think this over?
Oh boy.
And then, of course, you have the Gargoyle Predator hybrid that will erupt.
A greedy reboot of Antique Roadshow?
Where all of the antiques are haunted or cursed objects.
A greedy reboot. Everything's just massively overpriced.
Right. Josh Washburn asked, was the Pregnant Stimpy episode the one where Stinky appears? And no. That would be the for the Stinky actually appears in Son of Stimpy, which is the Christmas episode, and the Pregnant Stimpy one is the adult party cartoon one. So those are two separate episodes. And as for like Gargoyles versus Predator, I mean, the Predators do kind of have a bit of an advantage, to be quite honest. But...
Goji Thriller 73 asks, hey Decker, what franchise did you start watching first, Godzilla or Gamera? Now, the first one that I actually sat down and was like, okay, I'm going to be watching these movies and I'm going to get invested in this mythos, was Gamera. I had seen some Godzilla beforehand, but I never really followed it, It's just, if you exist, you have probably seen some Godzilla.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, very true. I mean, there were a lot. I even remember like Godzilla movies being aired like around, I want to say like maybe like around the mid to late 90s, like English dubbed. And I think this was like kind of like, trying to hype up the announcement of the Godzilla 1998 movie that was going to be coming out. I think I remember.
Yeah.
About it. Yeah, I know, right?
Oh boy.
Yeah. I actually saw that movie in theaters, by the way. Not a great experience, to be quite honest.
Saw it in theaters?
Yes, I did.
How many boos?
Not boos, more like groans and just saying I'm bored.
Okay.
Yeah, Batman and Robin actually got a lot of boos. Yeah, I know.
So, yeah.
All right, I guess we should go over to our next bit of news.
I think.
All right. So it's Creepy's turn. And speaking of gargoyles, we've been talking a lot about that. So Keith David was actually interviewed recently discussing about like if they were to bring back Gargoyles back, would he be willing to come back to it? And he said, absolutely, I would love to. So
It's like, why not? I've already done
look
Saints
over
Row, for
here.
fuck's sake.
And here we go. And get rid of the Baywatch commercial.
No!
There we go.
I love Baywatch.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
You want this video to be demonetized, Decker?
Over Baywatch? Not really.
Okay then. Good. Okay, so yeah, sorry Baywatch, maybe some other time.
Baywatch refuses to leave.
Baywatch knows where to find.
Paul Grillo is
Baywatch
asking,
is
anybody know
calling
Phantom of the
inside your
Paradise?
house.
And oh yes. Did a review of Phantom of the Paradise. I would have said that for the horror movie reference, except that's not 80s, that's late 70s. Or early 70s, mid 74?
Yeah, I think it was like mid 70s. All right then. So here you go, creepy.
Thick Black Daddy is now hosting with 3 viewers. Thank you.
Awesome. In a matter of a few weeks, fans will be celebrating the 25th anniversary of Gargoyles, first debuting on ABC. The dark and gothic show was revolutionary for the time, and some of us, at least this writer in particular, and a certain person reading it, are chomping at the bit for the House of Mouse to turn the series into something an entirely new generation could enjoy. In celebration of the impending Gargoyles 25th anniversary, we spoke with the series star, Keith David, someone who's hoping to get the show back just as much as the rest of it. During our conversation, David made it apparent that his character Goliath, the protagonist of the entire franchise, is one of the most favorite roles he's played in a storied acting career. You know, those of us who were involved from the beginning, I've always wondered why they stopped it in the first place, David. Because of the show's initial cancellation after 3 short seasons, because Disney is full of morons, that's why.
Yeah.
That's where the voice actor floated the idea of a possible reboot, saying he'd be entirely on going back to voice Goliath for another go-round. We've wondered why we haven't come back to a reboot. The actor said. I mean, I would love nothing more than to revisit Goliath. You know, he was absolutely one of my very, 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 very favorite characters. I've always maintained that when I grow up, I want to be like Goliath. I think we're all there with you, Keith.
Also, real quick, Monster Artist 1999 has also added, Patricia, do you have an obscure 80s horror film that you would like them to reference for the comic book?
As I mentioned before, the brain. I want to see a killer brain.
The killer
with
brain?
sharp teeth. Yes, the brain, yes. A killer brain with sharp teeth. With tentacles, like grabbing people.
Patricia and the brain. One is a genius, the other's insane.
Okay.
First debuting on October 24th, 1994, the series ended up running for 78 total episodes, majority, 65, of which came during seasons 1 and 2. After a monstrous 52-episode second season, Disney spun the series off into Gargoyles, the Goliath Chronicles, which many have long considered to be the 3rd season of the franchise. Since then, the show's become a cult favorite, with some big-name Hollywood A-listers hoping to get their hands on the property eventually. Most recently, horror mastermind Jordan Peele, Get Out, and Us reportedly pitched a live-action film featuring the high-flying gladiators. Those initial reports surfaced last June, and it seems Disney wasn't too high on the idea at the time, though they now have their own streaming service to put all kinds of original content on. Disney Plus launches November 12th. What other classic shows do you hope to see Disney relaunch someday? Share your thoughts in the comments below or by tweeting me at Adam Barnhart.
I don't think that the term like wanting Disney to relaunch something is really the way I'd go about phrasing it.
Yeah.
I want things to be
interesting.
relaunched, but I don't necessarily feel enthused about Disney.
Yeah. Now, it's actually interesting that you mention this because we'll be discussing about this later, that a particular country actually got Disney Plus early. So we'll be discussing about that, and they've actually leaked on some of the shows that have been uploaded onto the streaming service. But in the meanwhile, how's the poll coming along? How long do we have left?
This is saying 20 minutes, refreshing. Now it says 14 minutes. That's a long refresh.
Hmm.
But we got 47 votes so far, 14 minutes to go.
Awesome. Okay, so we're about halfway there.
Hooray!
All right, so let's go over
Excellent.
to our next bit of news. So yeah, let's actually discuss about one of the remakes that is going to be coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure that you guys know that horror movies tend to be remade a lot. We already talked about the Candyman remake that's going to be coming out. There's the sequel to The Shining with Dr. Sleep. But this announcement came by just a few weeks ago. That once again, they're going to be doing a remake based off of one of the more influential slasher movies, Black Christmas. Now you're probably wondering, wait, didn't they do this in 2006? Yes. But I guess a lot of people didn't really like that one because it was actually critiqued harshly, saying that it was terrible. So they're like, hey, if a remake of a classic movie doesn't do well, wait about another 10, 15 years and do it again. So
If at first you don't succeed, try again until people give up and throw money at you.
yeah, so
Black
the official
Christmas.
trailer of the Black Christmas remake has been released. So Decker, it's your turn.
The first trailer for the latest remake of the 1974 slasher classic Black Christmas has been unveiled, teasing the holiday mayhem the film has in store for audiences. The remake was first announced in June, taking the horror world by surprise. Documentary footage. Okay. With the announcement feeling all the more unexpected, given a 2006 remake previously landed in theaters. The new film comes from director Sofia Takai from a script she co-wrote with April Wolfe. The film was produced by Jason Blum, who delivered audiences last year's Halloween, which resurrected that franchise from the grave. The new Black Christmas lands in theaters on December 13th. In this film, Hawthorne College is quieting down for the holidays, but as Riley Stone, Imogen Poots' green room, and her Mu Kappa Epsilon sisters, athlete Mary Lily Donahue, the CW's Jane the Virgin, Rebel Chris, and Foodie Jesse prepare to deck the halls with a series of seasonal parties. A black masked stalker begins killing sorority women one by one. As the body count rises, Riley and her squad start to question whether they can trust any man, including Marty's beta male boyfriend, Nate. What the fuck? That's a really odd way of thinking about this crisis situation you're in. Riley's new crush landed. Or even esteemed classics instructor Professor Gelson. Whoever the killer is, he's about to discover that this generation's young women aren't about to be any one of these victims, except for the ones that have already died and technically can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
The original film came from director Bob Clark, who might be more well known for the holiday film he delivered audiences a decade later, A Christmas Story, before the debut of films like Halloween in 1978 or Friday the 13th in 1980. Black Christmas is considered by many to be a pioneer in the slasher genre, as it marked one of the first genre films to offer audiences a glimpse of the killer's point of view as he stalked his victims. Well, in Friday the 13th, it was she, but okay. The film's final reveal offered a twist in the popular urban legend about a babysitter who is being terrorized by mysterious phone calls, only to make a startling realization about the source of those calls. When the previous remake landed in theaters in 2006, it was largely dismissed as being another attempt of Hollywood cashing in on a familiar property, as 2003's Texas Chainsaw Massacre launched a slew of remakes of familiar horror movies, though the film has earned a following in recent years. The new Black Christmas lands in theaters on December 13th. And, yeah, that's,
I mean, what else is new? You know,
Yeah.
With Hollywood, it's like, how are we going to draw in an audience and sales? Remake a movie.
Yeah, Kat says, well, beta male was used, red flag right there. And I'm thinking, like, at first it's like, okay, stuff going on, horror, and then it's like, then all the women band together and decide, you know what, if it's a man that's killing us, fuck all the men! And it's like, what? What's the logic is this? What?
So we've gone from...
Like, it could just be like a tall lady with, like, a bunch of bandages around her chest, too. Like,
They could be.
I don't know, like, if you haven't seen their face, you can't really know who it is.
Yeah, like in the original Black Christmas, it's never revealed who the killer is. So, it leaves you that suspense on who the person is that did all the killing. So it could have been anybody.
I mean, I'm going to have to see how it all comes out, how it all is finished off. It might actually be better than that article is making it sound, but that article is not making it sound too great.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how it was phrased, this sounds less like a remake of a classic horror movie and more like a
on Twitch, Food says, wait, so it's both uber feminist and alt-right? What even? It's like, yeah, that's like, okay. It's like their beta male boyfriend, and also all the men, so fuck them all. It's like, wait, what? Who? This is all just bad decisions. I know horror movie characters don't make good decisions, but
yeah, I think that I think that we definitely need to wait until the movie comes out to see, what their interpretation is going to be about.
See how it all actually comes together. See how it's balanced. Does it make sense in context? I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either. All right.
Matthew Lemon says the killer in Black Christmas was Jesus, coming to take his birthday back.
Or it could be Jesus.
I've seen plenty of horror movies where Santa is the killer, so why not actually have it Jesus? I don't know. Jesus returns, but they never said he was going to be nice about it.
That has yet to happen. Although I think that if maybe that were to be
that would probably get boycotted and a half. Oh, it's a kitty.
Hi, Floor.
Tara, you're getting upstage. Where are you, Tara? Did you go into the bed? Girl, Ken, where are you at?
Look at how big she is. Like, she is enormous. I think we may have adopted a miniature lion.
It's a little chunk.
No, she's adorable. Sadly, I don't have a cat.
Oh boy.
I used to though, but that was a long time ago. But yeah, I do miss having cats. My sister does have one. His name is Simon, and he's a very nice cat. And I do see pictures. No, Patricia, do you have a cat? No, I don't have a cat. I used to a long time ago, but he has since passed away. But he was a very nice cat. I had him when I was 10, and he passed away when I was 22. Okay. So yeah, he was like 18.
He lived a good life.
Yeah, he did live an excellent life. Kidney failure was what took him, which it was very common for cats. He was a tap. This is what he looked like. His name was Charlie.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, he was a really nice cat.
Yeah. Well, ow!
That's the one thing about cats that I do not miss. The scratches and the bites.
She bit my foot!
Okay. They do that sometimes.
They do, yeah. Especially if, you don't wake up and they're asking for food.
I was really confused today because Dobby was being an ass. Like, I was trying to sleep, and he's cozy here. He's like knocking things around the computer table. He's knocking things off the thing. He's meowing. He jumps up, like walks behind with the pillow and pulls my hair. He goes under the bed and starts clawing the underside of the mattress because he knows that pisses me off. And I get up when I'm ready. So I'm just sitting here like, creepy. I could not let him win.
Yeah,
you know me.
I remember the Japanese people who put their luggage behind the seat on the train, and how you refused to get out of the seat and go sit in the other one right across from us, which was empty, because that would have been letting them win.
So I was not going to let this cat win. So I get up when I'm ready after laying there for a couple more hours when I probably only needed at most 30 more minutes of sleep, but I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And get up and I look, and his food bowl's full. His food bowl's full. His litter box is still pretty much clean. Like, he's walked in it. But, and then I'm looking like, what the hell? Why? And then he walks over to his water dish, and that's dry. Oh, okay.
Bummer.
Here's your water. But for a second there, I was like,
What do you want from me?
Oh boy.
Yes.
Yes, pretty much.
So yeah.
All right, so let's go over to our next bit of news.
Well, in terms of horror and things that are just not good ideas, and why would you do this? Remember that drink they're making with Doom?
Oh yeah, I remember. Apparently, they're still going for it. Let me see if I can find
Your camera has no desire to be any part of this.
Not again.
Oh, poor Patricia. I'm so sorry.
This is not my night. I swear to God, this is not my night. All right, I found the article, so I'm just gonna. All right, I'm gonna pull it up.
Well, we get like a half second of. Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's true. There we go. Doom vodka made from actual bones. Yes. You know, we've talked about a lot of strange merchandise in this show. The Mortal Kombat candle that smelled of blood, and the Inuyasha bath soaps, and let's see.
Let us not forget the time that Decker tried that hot sauce and nearly died.
That is true. The hot sauce.
Demon Orc is like, what the fuck? Are they fucking stupid?
And also the time that we talked about the scented candles that smelled of movie genres, like the Western and the horror and all that stuff. So, yeah. And
I can't wait for them to release their whiskey that's made from the tears of orphans.
Don't jinx it. It'll probably happen.
Okay.
You know what will happen now that you've mentioned that Decker.
All right, so
what will happen?
Let's.
You can really taste the sadness.
All right, here we go. We all know that the Doomslayer only deals in the currency of the ultra-violent variety. You kind of have to when fighting the legions of hell, I suppose. Well, now we have an official vodka beverage brutal enough for the Doomslayer himself. Rebel Distillers created a vodka from bones, or at least bone marrow. Okay,
yeah.
So if it's bone marrow...
Oh, bone marrow! Oh, that's totally different. Food on Twitch. On Twitch, Food says, it's just not good vodka until it's filled with the bones of my enemies.
When the title says made from actual bones,
there's a little asterisk, may contain bone marrow.
Exactly. So, yeah. In order to rev up for the upcoming release of Doom Eternal, we can't wait. The folks over at Rebel Distillers and the Ginger Pig have gone to work to bring us a super unique sort of vodka. Matt McGivern, co-founder of Rebel Distillers, said, we're tapping into one of the world's favorite video games to offer a unique perspective in spirit production. The alcoholic concoction smokes and roasts the bones, then takes the marrow and places it in neutral grain alcohol prior to distillation. You can head over to the Rebels Distillers to pre-order your very own bottle of Doom Vodka. And while you're at it, don't forget to pre-order Doom Eternal, hitting shelves on November 22nd on PC, PlayStation 4, Google Stadia, yes, that's still a thing, and Xbox One.
Matthew Lemon says, I can't wait for fetal stem cell rum. God.
I have a question.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. It's going to happen.
Oh, no.
I am of drinking. Oh. So, yes, this is the...
it's like age-restricted content. I'm like, oh, God, what? No! Oh, wait, that's just the booze. It's just the booze.
Yes, this is the vodka. So 21 and under are not supposed to go to this website because for, obvious reasons. So the Doom Bone Vodka is 45 euros.
Pounds.
Limited edition bone... Well, pounds, right. Limited edition bone vodka made only with the finest ingredients.
Only the finest bone marrow!
So is this human bone marrow? I feel like
I assume it's probably beef.
Yeah, it's most likely beef.
Possibly sheep. Depends on the market for mutton.
Yeah, I think it's most likely
and I feel like they should have. This is not specified. I feel like they really, really should have.
Squashy Aussie says, when I die, I wish to be fermented.
Okay, I feel like that is going to end in Decker's will.
And Nicole Nicole 7891 asks, "Are they animal bones? Please don't let it be human." And I think that's the big thing. They just say bone, so they don't specify what creature the bones came from, and therefore it leaves it open to interpretation. Mad cow disease vodka, says John Washburn.
I honestly do think that when Decker dies, he's going to have in his will, "I wish to be fermented." He wants to be made into a type of liquor.
Havoc says, "I'll wait for Fallout's fine wine aged in barrels with depleted uranium rods."
And then there's John Ratsey who says, "What's next? The wine made by the blood?" Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so please note these are available to be shipped into the UK, Europe, and Australia. So Americans are not worthy enough to have this delectable bone marrow vodka. So
is it at least kosher?
Or
is that possible? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it does it say anything about it being kosher.
This raises so many questions.
A world of flames and demons.
I don't know.
Oh man, this has brought up so many uncomfortable questions.
Motorcycle US asks Decker, "What drinks do Borderlands 3 have?" There have been. I have seen soda cans sitting around the world, but I stopped reading what was in it. I just realized if you shot them, they exploded in different colors. Like they have their little fake Mountain Dew. You shoot it, it explodes green, and I'm like, that's just me.
Yeah.
But if you find some Torgos, a box of cereal Torgos, and you melee that, it does a little guitar lick like. Lupicelio says BFG, bone flavored gin, or boner flavored gin, but yeah, either way.
Boner flavored gin.
That'd be a site. How would there are you could it's like okay, you need this rum, and then we're gonna figure out how many mixed drinks we can come up with called the boner. Just with bone in name, just like mix it in with a little absinthe, call it Funny Bone. I don't know.
Think about the things you would hallucinate afterwards. Imagine if they started playing them bones.
Lupicilio asks, "Didn't they make Nuka-Cola? Warm and flat." They did make Nuka Rum. And I've never had Nuka Rum, though it's like the amount of like absolute just hatred focused at Nuka Rum. It's like the whole situation with Bethesda and Fallout 76. It wasn't a good situation.
No.
But I do feel like it was people went a little bit overboard, and you're thinking, well, how could they go overboard, Decker? They released the game too early and charged a shitload of money and made a bunch of promises that they didn't deliver on. It's like, well, try and parse things with what people are saying versus what there is, and also compare it to other things. Like, was the nylon bag instead of a canvas bag bad? Yes. Did Bethesda do it? Yes. Is it Bethesda's fault they did that? Yes. Is this a specifically Bethesda thing that only Bethesda has ever done and only Bethesda will ever do? No, it's happened a shitload of times before, but the only time anyone's cared about it so much is when Bethesda did it. It's always been bad. The fact that people are only holding Bethesda's feet to the fire for it, though, in my opinion, isn't good, because that means it's just going to keep happening. Everyone else is going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
There have been plenty of times when there have been pre-order bonuses and stuff like that have not met the standard and not met up with what people said it was going to be before it came out. And it's just kind of been a thing for a while. It's not good. It is the state of the industry. It needs to improve. Specifically focusing on only Bethesda is not going to improve that. You need to hold the entire industry's feet to the fire to see any kind of change.
Right. Very true.
This camera is just dead. It literally just crashed on me.
Demon Orc says some people talked about it and said the rum was low quality and was placed in large hollow plastic. Was placed in large hollow plastic. I felt like that was more like a display piece. The rum inside was in a glass bottle, which I feel like would have... Like, in order to make glass in that size would have been really cool, but it would have been difficult to ship it without breaking. So it's like, I kind of understand where it is, and I can also understand the disappointment. I never had the rum, though, so I don't know how good it is. I know a lot of that is, when it comes to spirits and such, a lot of it is up to personal preference and taste. A lot of them really don't taste good, but people are like, that has that fine body and this and that. And, you know, all you have. If you ever wanted to try and read something that makes no fucking sense, go on ratebeer.com and look at any review for any alcohol there. And they're speaking English. They are writing English words, but let me bring up a little bit of Rate Beer and try to give you an example of how none of this makes any damn sense.
I feel like Decker has been holding this in time, his hatred of this website, and it finally has the excuse to come out.
Yes.
I'm just okay. Is it Rate Beer?
All right,
or where?
I'm gonna try to reset this camera, so I'll be right back.
Let's see.
Okay. So have fun ranting about beer. Be right back.
Okay.
And she's leaving me alone with you again.
I'll be back in a minute. Don't worry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here we go. A review from I Need Beer for Brewery Turuk's Sour in the Rye, Passion Fruit, Orange, and Guava. They gave it a 3.8. Poured from a 750 milliliter 2017 vintage bottle. Aromas of fruity with guava dominating, followed orange and passion fruit. Light oak notes and a bit of rye character, some fruity notes from the fermentation as well, lemon, pineapple, and cherry pie. Pours a copper brown with some orange hues and a medium-sized, thick, slightly tan head that recedes steadily to the edges when it disappears. No lacing and faint legs. Flavor is fairly acidic, but only slightly sharp with a light sweetness to it. Moderately strong orange and guava notes with lighter passion fruit, light oak hints, and alcohol. A light rye of grain note. Light lemon, pineapple, and cherry as well. Mouthfeel is medium-bodied with medium-high carbonation. Low astringency and low alcohol warmth. Overall, decent beer. Acidity is not as sharp as I remember as the fruit, while dulled, is still rather present.
Delicious.
How much of that...
I'm good.
How much do you want to bet if you actually taste that beer, you'll have a hard-ass time figuring out where the hell they got lemon, pineapple, and cherry pie in the description for? Like,
pineapple and cherry pie, sounds okay, but as a drink mixed in with a whole bunch of other stuff, that doesn't sound very appetizing.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it tastes like beer.
Okay.
It's disgusting.
Food says, we interrupt this episode of Live and Wire to bring you Decker versus beer reviewers. Well, yeah, that's like, when you read a lot of beer reviews, there are things that, like, they talk about tendrils and legs and head and mouth and, like, all these things that technically mean things, but it just becomes word salad.
I don't think, even if I liked beer, I don't think I would feel comfortable hearing about it having tendrils. I feel like that would be going into an area that I'm comfortable with.
A touch of melon and floral juice? What the hell is floral juice?
What?
Okay.
Okay, are they, is this an act of sabotage, or were they sincerely trying to make this sound appetizing? I am asking you seriously, because I don't know.
In an actual thing that has to do with the show, the Live and Wired poll has finished. So, coming in at...
Yay!
I'm gonna go lowest to highest. Okay. Because the lowest is really close, and the highest is so far ahead.
All right.
Coming in at last place, we have Hey Arnold. It's got 81 total votes here, should mention. Hey Arnold came in with 11% of the votes. Coming in at third place with 12% of the vote, Cow and Chicken. Now
that would have been awesome though.
Second place with 14%. Second place, 14%. Tiny Toons, meaning number one is The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, now The Gritty Adventures of Billy and Mandy, at a whopping 63%.
Damn.
We also got some nice comments. Kat says all these are good, like each one a different type of horror. Oh, the possibilities with these. Imaginos Desdenova says, I would have gone with Pinky and the Brain. Oh, dear God. Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
The implications of animal testing, man.
Humble Canuck DM says, Tiny Toons, because if they can butcher the memories of 70s kids about the banana splits, why should 90s kids be spared?
True.
Oh, boy. Blood at Know You're Old says, I mean, wasn't Cow and Chicken already that? V. Martin Wright says Billy and Mandy already had Voltaire and Rob Zombie doing music for them. Why not just go full ham? And Kordan Hudmaya says, other than these, what other cartoons and anime have you seen? Anything recently? So, have you seen any anime and cartoons recently?
I started watching something not too long ago called Cannon Busters, which is...
Oh, yes. I actually did see Cannon Busters as well.
Yeah, It's like a lot of a lot of early 2000 anime, were watched and then they were inspired by this, but I kind of love it because of that. Also, Decker, it has a pink Cadillac that transforms into a giant robot via the use of arcade tokens.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
That's how it transforms. You slip, one of the tokens into a coin slot, and then it transforms.
No cash value. Its only use is kicking ass.
Yeah. And then,
oh, God. Eddie Curtis's Tom and Jerry gritty reboot.
Oh, no.
Poor Tom. Poor Tom.
Poor Tom. All the abuse that he would be going through.
Like, people are already, like, reacting very badly to, in Borderlands 3, they have skags. You always have skags in Borderlands. Skags are like alien dogs. They have some very accurate audio for when you shoot and run them over. People don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's worth experience and they're trying to kill me, but I feel so bad. No!
Oh, John Radsey says Invader Zim. Oh, dear God, man. Imagine Invader Zim was already pretty screwed up as it is in some episodes. Like, hey, I'm gonna take this kid who I hired to be my best friend and now he's being too clingy. I'm going to take out his eyes, replace it with robot eyes, and he sees a squirrel as his best friend. He chases after the squirrel, and then he explodes.
Oh, God. Ed and Eddie, the horror movie.
Mm.
There's actually a theory that Ed, and Eddie takes place in purgatory.
I did hear about that as well.
Someone had a theory that Ed, and Eddie took place in this kind of spiritual limbo plane. And, the reason certain things were the way they were is because all of these characters were actually trapped in a kind of, spiritual dead zone, and they were trying to find a way out.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to see if I can try to get my camera to work again, and no, it's not. All right, so I'll be right back.
Okay. But
it won't take me very long.
Oh, I'm not. That wasn't at you, Patricia. That was at the camera. I'm sorry. I should have specified my angry growl.
I should mention the other things going on with the title card. There's technically two things on it that we have not spoken about yet. One is the big MoviePass logo with the explosion going on. Because that's the thing that's going bye-bye. As bye-bye. As MoviePass. It's sad. Now, if I could figure out exactly how to do this, because without Patricia here, I'm kind of like... what is the stuff that goes with the things? So, how's everyone doing? I'm a professional. John Washburn saying Courage is pretty dark to begin with. Yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog. I was thinking of putting that on there, but at the same time, it's like, no, that was already some pretty terrifying horror stuff going on there.
Very true.
There we go. Yes, I want to open the link. That's why I clicked on it. Okay, so is this loading kind of sort of... Oh, I will be redirected and just skip ad. Skip ad. Okay. So then, I'm going to just go click over here and then move this over there. And boop, there we go. MoviePass shutting down. Parent company unable to predict if or when service will continue. So, it's over! Helios and Matheson Analytics, the parent company of MoviePass, announced today that they're pulling the plug on this famed monthly movie ticket subscription service, which offered unlimited tickets for $9.95 a month. Well, damn, why wasn't I using that? Said that it formed a strategic review committee comprised of independent directors to identify, review, and explore all strategic and financial alternatives for the company. Options include a sale of the company in its entirety, a sale of the company assets like MoviePass, MoviePhone, and MoviePass Films. Today, MoviePass has notified its subscribers that it will be interrupting the MoviePass service, effective September 14th, because its efforts to recapitalize MoviePass have not been successful. In July, the company had suspended the service to work on what it said were technical improvements, as well as an effort to recapitalize its operation, which at its peak had burned through tens of millions of dollars a month. Oh, ow. That's not...
Ow.
How do you... The company is unable to predict if or when the MoviePass service will continue, said in a press release. The company is continuing its efforts to seek financing to fund its operations. There can be no assurance that any such financing will be obtained or available in terms acceptable to the committee. Where to begin to regale the tales of MoviePass, created in 2011 by Stacy Spikes and Hammett Watt. The flat-priced subscription movie ticket service looked to have a renaissance when tech company Helios and Matheson Analytics took a huge stake in the service in August 2017. CEO Mitch Lowe, who had worked at Netflix, spearheaded a Netflix-esque all-you-can-eat pricing model for moviegoing, something that was commonplace in Europe but previously all but unknown to U.S. exhibition. Yeah, I had no idea that was even available, honestly. How the company would become profitable was an immediate question in the distribution and exhibition sectors. Neither studios nor theaters wanted to give up any share of the box office to this third-party firm, which said it would ultimately profit through the use of data. Oh, it's that kind of operation. It's a small price and they're gonna mine your fucking data to sell. Yay. Low and Hypnate boss Ted Farnsworth believed that rapid subscriber growth would deepen its data pool and give it leverage in Hollywood. For a time, the stock market agreed, and Helios stock traded at nearly $30 a share by late 2017. Ah, welcome, Salty Taco. The theory was that the percentage of members actually going to the movies each month would be the minority, meaning the company would not have to fork over cash for tickets to fulfill orders. Many compared this setup to the way many health clubs work. That's a dumbass idea. I mean, the reason that's like people saying Amazon Prime. If you have it, you're more likely to spend more. It's like, well, I was already spending a lot on Amazon, which is why I have it. That ratio of active users to total members didn't fall into place. Instead, the company found itself having to run up huge deficits because it had promised access to any movie and was on the hook to provide tickets and fulfill its promise. Finally, in July 2018, during the opening weekend of Mission Impossible Fallout, MoviePass officially blacked out. At one point, MoviePass had bragged it had nearly 3 million subscribers. The once high-flying Himity stock took a swan dive and never recovered. Following the Mission Impossible debacle, MoviePass decided it would no longer cover big studio tentpoles in their opening weekends, instead allowing only indies and holdovers. Subscriber levels dropped to 225,000 as of last April. Himity stock, which had traded over-the-counter since being dead-listed by the NASDAQ in February, closed Friday at 93 hundredths of a cent, essentially where it had been the past few months. Getting delisted, often a fatal setback for companies with Himity ambitions, was far from the only blemish of the checkered record of MoviePass, which became became a real-time case study in mismanagement. In just the past year alone, it elicited a fraud investigation by the state of New York, restated its financial results due to accounting errors, parted ways with its CEO and top operational executive, executed unusual and unsuccessful reverse splits of its stock, and doubled down on investment in film production and financing. A month before the fallout that would sink the company, a MoviePass-backed firm became the worst reviewed titles of 2018, the John Travolta movie biopic, Gotti. I know, Tara. It's just... How? Yeah. As MoviePass peaked and blew up AMC and regale-eyed it warily, and in the case of AMC's outspoken CEO Adam Aron, took public shots at it. Over time, each circuit started their own successful monthly subscription movie ticket programs, which were able to feed concession sales and enhance their existing data mining operations. Oh. Yay. AMC's put a cap on the amount of tickets for $20 per month for any kind of film. Regal, like Cinemark, restricted theirs to 2D films. In late December 2017, MoviePass celebrated passing 1 million subs in 4 months. Netflix reached that milestone in 39 months. To celebrate, Lowen Farnsworth took a photo outside AMC's Empire 25 in New York, laughing at the number one chain in the world. AMC tried to sue the service and shut them down. Now, AMC has the last laugh. Despite its demise, MoviePass leaves a legacy, serving as a disruptive force that pushed entrenched theater circuits to change their ways. IMAX CEO Rich Gelfond, speaking at investor conference earlier this week, said AMC opted for the See Anything approach with its Stubbs A-List subscription program, largely because MoviePass came onto the landscape. I think it was largely a defensive move on their part. Okay. So...
yeah, I guess they kind of bit off a little bit more they could chew with that one.
Oh yeah.
Now I actually pulled something up. Speaking of Gotti and John Travolta, the box office just recently, the box office numbers recently were coming in for Fanatic, and oh man, it's really bad. Without anybody looking online, because I know some of you guys tend to do that. And my camera screwing up again. What else is new? Anyway, yeah, it's all right. So we already actually talked about Fanatic before. So it is a thriller movie that has John Travolta as like this obsessed fan, and the movie is directed by Fred Durst from what you call it, that band, Limp Bizkit. That's one. Okay, so. How much money did the movie make in the box office?
Tara?
I'm not gonna. I mean, for anybody who does know, great. But for those who do not know, just make a guess.
$5.
$5. Okay. $5. Okay, creepy.
50 million.
50 million. All right. So let's see what we got. Anthony Hudak says $15. Kat Lucida says $5. Joseph Steele says $10.
This is the weirdest game of The Price is Right ever.
I know, right? The actual retail price. Okay, I won't reveal it just yet. I want everybody to keep guessing. Okay, the real Mullen says $250. Dr. Doom says $27.
It just says 27, maybe million? I don't know.
Let's see. The writer's block says $3.50. The Monster Artist 1998 says $30. Brandon Kilgore says 2 lira. Let's see. 350, 25,000. Let's see. Oh man, a lot of these are actually really good, choices. I'm actually just can't wait to show you.
Scorcher's now following. Welcome.
Oh, welcome. Thank you very much for welcome. Okay, so I don't know how much it was to make, but okay, so the drum roll is of how much this movie made in the box office is $3,153.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was playing on
way off.
So the real Mullins wins at $350.
Congratulations! Woo! And it was playing on 52 cinemas. So yeah, that's pretty bad.
Or was that 350 or a 3? Okay, I don't know.
I don't know.
3,000. Ooh.
Let's see. The Nesting 100 said Fred Durst paid the fans $50 for wasting their time. Brilliant.
Oh man! Oh,
Yeah, $3,000. Ooh boy.
that would make it so like if the Blair Witch Project came out and made that much money, they would not have made a profit. I'm just saying. Oh.
Yeah, and they played in 52 cinemas, by the way.
52.
52 cinemas.
Okay, I'm bringing out the calculator again.
Yes, please do so.
So
Okay, so we have
$3,000.
Yeah, $3,150. Let's just round it out.
Okay. Divided by how many theaters?
52.
2.
Okay, that's $60.57 per theater.
Wow, that's sad.
Oh.
The Door and the Lost City of Gold made more money than this.
I make more money than this. Oh. Wow. How?
Yep. Decker, are you okay?
I'm just like brain just.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard of a box office failure like this in a while. I know that there are movies out there that only made like maybe $2,000 or $1,000 and stuff like that, and I know that we're releasing like limited cinemas, but you have John Travolta trying to make his comeback, and so far he has not done very well. I mean, he did Gotti, which last year was considered to be like one of the worst movies of the year, and then this.
Hey, I could tell that to the bad CGI Sharks team. They probably already, through pre-orders and T-shirt sales and stuff, have beat John Travolta.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, well, let's go over to another topic right before we delve into another bit of a depressing moment. And my camera, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna have to go on like this. Sorry, everybody. I'll have to fix it next time. All right, let's just go over to our next bit of news.
there is one more thing in the title card that we have not yet touched on.
Oh, okay.
Do you see that in the back, in the top left?
Let me take a look.
I got a new subscriber, Norbert Zinan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Yes. Oh, geez, that one. Should we leave that for YouTube news, though?
Probably.
Yeah, let's leave it for YouTube news.
All right.
So,
let's.
also, I noticed Patricia, in the little news sheet you provided, that little article I sent you, it's not in there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I really wanted to read that one out.
Yeah, I forgot to put that in. Sorry. I guess I should get it. So, which one? Is it the Nintendo Switch one or what you call it? The bit of video game news about Nintendo. So, yeah, which Nintendo news you wanted me to do?
The one about the presenters for Ring Fit Adventures.
Oh, God, that one, yes. Now I remember.
I really wanted to read that article out. And I really would also like to mention who wrote that article, because it is written so nicely, I would really like to give them their due. Like, they're the one that wrote that. And who keeps sending me messages?
We haven't had, like, anything like that in a while.
That's who keeps sending me messages. My fiancé. Okay, just a second,
Alright, so I'm going to pull it up.
Okay.
And, I'll read it. My turn anyway.
Well, I can read. I just need to get my camera off.
Oh, okay, you can read? Okay, that's fine. I didn't want to disrupt your, messaging.
Unless you really want to read it.
Nah, not really. You can read it. Okay, I found it.
Okay.
Okay, so come on, pull it up the screen. There we go.
We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Alrighty.
There we go. Got it.
So
let's talk about the terrifying Nintendo Switch Ring Fit Adventure host. Okay.
Yes, let's talk about the terrifying Nintendo Switch Ring Fit Adventure hosts.
And it just went off. Okay,
Okay.
So whose turn is this?
Technically, it's Patricia's turn, but
I don't care. Go ahead, read it, Decker. I don't care.
You feel it too, don't you? Technically, you've just watched a trailer for Ring Fit Adventure, but it's not the game you're thinking about. It's him. Who is this man, and what does he want? Nintendo trailers often feature real people enjoying their games in a real environment in order to demonstrate how you and your friends and family can do the same. The people used in these trailers aren't your family and friends, of course. They're objectively more attractive and take much more enjoyment out of their lives. They're your friends and family, if said friends and family had better bone structure and weren't overwhelmed by student and medical debt. They're supposed to give you a feel of how you can enjoy these fun Nintendo games with others, and we're okay with that. But this trailer is different. We're introduced to two hosts, a woman with the unflinching smile of a carnival entrance, and a man who looks as though he may burst from out of the YouTube video and into the real world at any point. It's him who I cannot stop thinking about. 3 seconds into the trailer, and Ring Fit Adventure Man bellows his first line. He launches into it as though it's a convulsion, his chest lurching forward as he greets the viewers. Hey, everyone! It should be a friendly, innocuous greeting, but it's said with so much force that you feel it. His voice falters a little on the hey. You get a sense that they only did one take of this trailer, because if they spent any more time on it, there was a chance that this man would explode. Then we get a close-up of Ring Man. His head is solid and rectangular, like a handsome fire hydrant. It looks like it could replace every president's head on Mount Rushmore, but no one would even notice because it was so well suited to being carved in stone. Ring Man's eyes are red, noticeably red. The kind of red that must have been spotted in the trailer's editing team, which presents even more questions. Why did they leave these close-ups in? Who was calling the shots here? Is Ring Man the ventriloquist and Nintendo but the puppets? The source of the redness of the eyes is unclear. Anger? Sadness? Perhaps a combination of the two. You might even break a sweat while playing Ring Fit Adventure, he says, with the subtle condensation of a man who has 0% body fat. On their own, these various traits would be alarming enough, but combined, Ring Man has the presence of an apex predator being granted an audience with his prey. He's the lion, we're the antelope, and this lion really wants us to buy Ring Fit Adventure. Is this woman okay? Ring Woman has her own weird stuff going on, but such is the absurdity of Ring Man that she is dramatically overshadowed. Take the above screenshot of the trailer, for example. Look at his expression. Just look at it. If Ring Man were to unhinge his jaw, then lock his teeth around his co-presenter's head, slowly devouring her while she continued to discuss the Switch Ring, would you even be surprised? Are those the snarled teeth of a man who isn't considering eating the human standing next to him? This isn't even the first time he does this. Later in the trailer, there's a close-up of Ring Woman, the cameraman presumably trying his best to keep him out of shot, but he doesn't allow that. Ring Man begins leaning in, just his teeth and nose visible. We can't see his eyes, so I assume his pupils have rolled back into his skull, leaving just the white sclera, like a great white shark preparing to feed. And then we're back. Two regular, completely normal, definitely not primordial demons wearing flesh suit humans, just smiling for the camera as non-demons do. Visit the Nintendo Switch website for details, Ring Man informs viewers, and then the camera lingers on them a little too long. I don't know who these two people are, or what they want, but I do know one thing for certain. I am buying Ring Fit Adventure, because after this trailer, I am terrified of what will happen if I don't. So let's go up to the writer, because Flute is asking who wrote this, and I would like to mention Paul Tamburo. Mm-hmm. Paul Tamburo on Game Revolution. That is the writer of this absolutely beautiful article.
Thank you.
Which has been the highlight of Decker's night. The highlight of this episode of Live and Wired for Decker has been this. Mm-hmm.
So yes. Oh. Okay.
Well, that was certainly interesting. It kind of reminds me of the time that we were looking at the stuff from
Anthony Hoodock says, at the end, they say, "Bye, Cannibal Holocaust." But yeah, I did watch the Ring Fit Adventure trailer. That was like Nintendo had this little teaser for this ring accessory that people were messing with, like the old trailer for the Wii, where they just had the Wii remote and people were playing with it, but there was no gameplay to speak of. It was just, look at all this stuff people could do with this Wii remote. It's a revolution. They had the similar thing with the Wii Ring, the Ring-Con, I think they'd call it. And the thing with that was this time they revealed what it's for in much less time, which is a specific game, Ring Fit Adventure, which is like Wii Fit for Switch. Except instead of a bathroom scale to stand on, you have this ring thing, and this thing is strapped to your leg. And they give a good explanation of what it is, and the differences between it and Wii Fit, the similarities, all the stuff you can do, have some fun with it, get fit. But yeah, those motherfuckers are scary. Like, they are just... You always get the sense that they have very specifically focus-tested these human beings, these, like... What's the homunculi that they have
from Full Metal Alchemist? Yeah.
And it's just the focus group probably had spent a little too much time in focus groups to notice the very big issues with these presenters. Specifically him. I mean, Ring Woman didn't necessarily do anything wrong. They were more normal in comparison, but they really didn't do a good job with the makeup and the style for the shape of her head and the building of her bone structure. Just a little different, a little makeover, and she would have looked a lot better for the camera. The angle and everything it didn't work quite right.
Right.
But that is such a minor issue compared to red-eyed, about to just... He's gonna put a ring on it, alright?
Nintendo is known for like creating like these odd accessories for their games. You remember a few years ago about when the Wii was out and they had like this medical tester that you put on your finger and it was never released because the backlash was so bad.
But they actually showed with the Ring-Con. They're like, also that little infrared camera on the bottom of the right Joy-Con. Put your thumb on that. It can tell your heart rate.
Oh, good.
Food is asking, so instead of a board calling you fat, it's a ring calling you fat. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. For some reason, it kind of reminds me a lot of that Sega Genesis accessory where it's like the big circle and you use that as the controller. You stand on it and then you just like move your body around.
That was the activator. I don't know if was that an official Sega accessory or was that some third-party thing? I remember commercials for it and it was like, you are the controller. It was trying to pretend like it's Kinect, but it really was just, here's a little field here. You break the field, it presses this button on this controller. So you playing like this.
Yeah.
Jump, motherfucker, jump!
Well, it says right here, it was produced by Sega and Interactive Light. So, yeah, Sega was a part of it.
Oh, crap.
Then again, this is the same company that was also involved with 32X.
Ah, crap.
Yes. No disrespect to Sega, and shout out to all the Sega Dreamcast fans for celebrating your 20th anniversary at $99.99.
Sure.
All right, let's go over to our next article. So, sticking back to Nintendo again, let's switch over to Smash. So, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, we did get the reveal of a few new characters, including Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury, who is an SNK fighter, and he's going to be joining in Smash. So, a lot of people were excited. A lot of people were like, who? And yeah, I know, because it's been a while since SNK has been kind of relevant. I mean, Samurai Showdown is getting a remake, which is great, by the way. More people should be playing the Samurai Showdown games, and I'll be talking about like something related to SNK really soon. So a lot of people are still wanting to see, more Smash characters for their DLC. And Masahiro Sakurai has mentioned many times that no, Goku will never be in Smash. But there are still high demands for these characters. So apparently there was a recent poll that was popped up, and it was from Reddit. That's what it was. It was from Reddit, and they were asking Japanese gamers, European gamers, and American gamers on what their top 10 characters they would like to see in Smash. And I actually have the list right here.
I thought it was top 10 characters I would like to smash.
Oh, I would like Smash.
Uh,
I like Smash in a puree. No, I would like to see in Smash, like in Ultimate. I should say Ultimate.
It's my reading ability again acting up.
I'm sorry. It's my fault. My everything's just not working for me tonight. So yeah, once again, cast your vote. Who do you think is like, in the top 3 or top 5 in America, Japan, and Europe? So anybody who is, our international viewers, we definitely need your help on this one. So let's start off with you, Decker. I mean, if you didn't see the list. So,
That was it!
Excuse me?
That was it!
Oh, okay. Creepy, how about you?
Not sure.
Like, who would you like to see in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that has not been in a game yet?
Or alternatively, who would you like to smash?
Okay. Now that's something. That's something. The dog from Duck Hunt.
Well, he's already in the game. I'm saying, like,
Damn it! That's right. He's already in the game. So okay,
Yes.
so I can do that now. I haven't yet. What is wrong with me then? Okay.
Oh, Cat, I know, Cat, I know.
I know. I know.
Okay.
A boy and his blob.
Ooh, yes, that would be
Ooh.
so cool.
I had that NES game, and it was so frustrating.
The remake.
So
is
you
so
know
much
that
better.
character would be a pain to play, but powerful.
The remake is so
I
much
want
better by the
someone
way.
else to play the game so that I can crush the son of it.
I played the remake of it on Steam, and it is so much better.
I have heard people say I think it came out in like 08, 09, something like that.
2009. 2009.
Right, and people kept telling me you should play this game because it is so much better.
Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me, sorry about that.
The original game has its flaws. Like, you have all of these jelly beans, and you're wondering what do each of them do. And it's kind of like a puzzle adventure game where you go around and you collect treasure and you get access to this world so that you can be able to fight off against the evil King Blob, who wants to feed all of his blobbish citizens with like marshmallows and chocolate, and that vitamins kill him. But it's kind of contradictory because vitamins also make him stronger at the end, so it's weird. But yeah, okay, so I've seen. Oh my god! And now you guys are just trolling me. Let's see. John McClane, a trash can, Ronald McDonald, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Leprechaun, John Stamos, Ringman Eater of Worlds.
I
Oh.
want Ringman in Smash.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
You guys are just ridiculous. Okay, so I'm just gonna show off the list. Oh my god. Ugh.
But yeah, I definitely want A Boy and His Blob in the original 8-bit A Boy and His Blob in, just so I can...
Okay, let's see. Arthur from Ghouls and Ghosts. That would be awesome.
The Alter Beast guy.
Alter Beast guy. That would be amazing.
The Toxic Avenger and Steven Seagal.
Now you're just trolling. Earthworm Jim would be pretty cool, but sadly, he is. I don't think there would be a chance of him being in it because we already know about.
There were Toxic Avenger games on NES. You could have Toxie.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. I mean, I guess it's up to Troma to see if we can have Toxie for Smash.
True.
Lloyd Kaufman, if you're listening to this, Toxie for Smash. The Battletoads, that would be more of Xbox because they're owned by Rare and Rare owns it. But then again, they have Banjo Kazooie, so hey, let's have Rash, Pimple, or Zitz in there. So sure, why not? Batman. Oh, that's going to be difficult for DC. Freddy Krueger, The Stuff, SWAT Cats, Doomslayer. Well, Doomslayer might be. Well, I mean, he has a gun, so I mean, I don't know.
Eddie Herta says Steven Seagal is God mod character Decker, and I'm thinking like that'd be Steven Seagal. You attack him, he doesn't have to press block. He just automatically gets the bubble that appears around him.
Steven Seagal sounds like an Animal Crossing character. He's a seagull.
Deflecting everything, blocking everything, and in the meantime, the bubble doesn't even get smaller. It just stays the same size.
Yeah. Bubsy. Oh, God, no, not Bubsy. Gordon Freeman, Xanatos, The Tall Man, Jason, Daddy Sanders from the KFC Colonel Sanders dating game. Oh, we'll talk about that later. Let's be serious. Okay, I'm gonna go to the list. Here we go. So this is the list according to all the Reddit users. So this is from Japan, America, and Europe. And as we can see here, for America and Europe, Sora from Kingdom Hearts is number 1. This is the most requested character in all
and
of...
It's still number 2 in Japan, so...
Yeah, and still number 2 in Japan, so he's at least is in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we have, let's see, that's, we have Lloyd from Tales of Arcadia. That's a really interesting choice. And let's see, we have Steve, for Europe, we have Steve from Minecraft, Dante from Devil May Cry, Shantae, Crash Bandicoot. Let's see, we have a Monster Hunter character, Gino from Super Mario RPG, The Legend of the Seven Stars, Rayman. We have Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Will Last Name Guy gave us $2, says, I don't have a question, but I do have $2. Well, thank you for your $2.
Thank you. Now we have $2. I'm just confused. Down there it's showing 2B, and I'm thinking...
Yeah, 2B is from Nier Automata.
I don't think... Did that come out on Switch? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I thought there was rumblings about it, but I don't know if it ever actually happened. I'm going to have to look this up real quick.
And Matanui, like an official Smash roster. This is like the top 10 characters that people from Japan, Europe, and America from Reddit said that they want to see in the game. Let's see what we have. We have Waluigi, which, of course, I mean, there's so many Waluigi fans out there who says, why isn't Waluigi in a game? I'm sick and tired of him being an assist trophy and all that stuff. So,
yeah, I'm seeing the things where the developers talking about the idea, where people are pitching the idea of Nier on Switch. It was showcased with Rainway, the streaming thing that I'm pretty sure it still has not come out. And I'm not sure if it's ever going to.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't see anything about Nier Automata actually on Switch.
Yeah. Let's see. Agumon from Digimon. I mean, I think maybe because that's owned by Bandai, I think, that does the Digimon games, I think, because they do Tamagotchi. And I know that Bandai Namco also is helping with doing the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate game. So I don't know. I mean, that's up to them. I mean, we got Pac-Man because of that. So let's see. We have Jiban Yan from Yokai Watch, and it's from Europe. I was surprised because I would think that would be for Japan, because I know Yokai Watch is more popular in Japan than in the US.
Very true.
Let's see. The Heavy from Team Fortress 2. Wow.
Poor Waluigi, so far down the list and only on one country.
Yeah.
Damn.
Us Americans cannot get enough of Waluigi.
That's true.
For Japan, we have a Gundam character. Of course, Japan giving us Gundam.
I've never actually seen, real quick, I've never actually seen Yokai Watch. Is it any good?
I have not seen it either, but I've heard a lot of people about it, and I get mixed reviews. Some people say that they like it, and some people say that it's nothing more than a Pokemon clone.
I've enjoyed myself a lot of Pokemon clones. Best Pokemon clone ever is Biomotor Unitron, but I'm the only one that remembers that, or even remembers how to pronounce it.
Yeah, and then we have, for Japan, Arle Naja from the Puyo Puyo series. Interesting choice, I have to say. I know that she's also in an RPG, with Mado Monogatari as well. But I think more people know her from Puyo Puyo. And let's see what else we have. Master Chief, of course, Master Chief. And Master Chief and Doomslayer together. So
Doomslayer beat Master Chief.
Yeah, by 1 vote, surprisingly.
Well, I have no idea how in the hell would you have Master Chief on Smash. That's a major stretch like that. That's not anywhere near on a Nintendo system.
Mm-hmm.
He's made his way to PC. But unless Xbox Game Pass manages to find its way on the Switch someday, and you can stream some Halo onto your Switch, I still don't see Master Chief showing up on Switch anytime soon.
Yeah, true. And Rayman, there was actually a lot of rumors. I remember when Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U was coming out and they were revealing their DC characters. I remember Rayman was rumored to be in the game, but that turned out to be a fake. So, yeah, I guess the demand for Rayman is still pretty high. And it's not so surprising that Europe is demanding the release of Rayman, because I know that Ubisoft, it was the series was created by a Frenchman. It was done by Ubisoft, and also Rayman was their mascot for the 2014 World Cup soccer games. So,
Soul Scorch is saying Nintendo entertaining the idea of Doomslayer on their Fluffy Bunny platform, never going to happen. It's like every single Doom game is either on Switch or coming to it.
That's true.
The Doom 1, 2, and 3 were recently released on Switch. Doom 64 has been announced. It's coming soon to Switch. Yes. Doom 4 has been on Switch for a while, and Doom Eternal is coming to Switch the same day as the other consoles, as far as I am aware.
Yeah, Doom has been released on Nintendo consoles since the Super Nintendo.
A part of me is laughing at this because I can remember when Doom being on Nintendo was such a controversial thing.
He's saying, yeah, true, but in Smash? And that is a point there. It's like, he's kind of a I will kill you character. And that's a bit far for Smash Brothers. I mean,
right.
Yeah, a lot of the characters in Smash can be described as not particularly nice guys, but, Ridley from Metroid.
Cat Lunacia actually brought up an interesting... Solid Snake was on Smash, and that is violent and has... So Doomslayer would be cool.
Well, yeah, but Solid Snake has never been depicted punching a guy's chest out and ripping his spine out and shoving up his ass.
True. I guess maybe Master Chief would kind of be close.
Master Chief would be closer in that regard. Master Chief is here to do a job and is facing a lot of stuff very violently, but he doesn't do it Doomslayer violently.
No. But if Master Chief does come in to Smash, then we will finally get the rivalry solved. Who is the better, character in a mask having a whole bunch of weapons? Master Chief or Samus Aran?
Well, Samus' cannon can turn into a lot of different things and fire rockets. Master Chief got to sit there and only carry 2 guns around. He's like, my back. I've only been trained from birth for this.
They'll never find me now that I'm disguised as a box.
All right, I think that we're done with this one. And my camera's still not working. Of course not. All right, then. So we're reaching about 30 minutes into the show. So let's talk about a few more articles, and then
30 minutes.
Go over to our YouTube. Oh wait, no, the time was wrong. Oh, geez.
30 minutes left.
30 minutes. Yeah, sorry.
It's 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Sorry. My clock is wrong, by the way.
Oh, wow.
It's not even daylight savings time yet. I don't have no idea. All right, so so let's go over to our next bit of news. So let's see. Actually, speaking earlier about Disney Plus, yes, the country that has got it early was the Netherlands, and they actually did discuss about some of the stuff that has been featured um, in their lineup. So creepy. I think that you can read this one. So and no more Baywatch. Go away, Baywatch.
We
You
need
will never
Alison
outrun
Fregler
the
to get
Baywatch
started.
man. Running
Yes.
in
We need
slow
Alison
motion towards
Fregler
you
to handle all the Baywatch on this show. We need to see if she'll guest star.
Yeah, let's that would be awesome. Yeah.
Actually, that would be pretty awesome. Okay. While most folks looking forward to the upcoming Disney Plus streaming service will have to wait until this November 12th launch date to check out everything the House of Mouse has to offer, one market is already getting to try it out. On Thursday, 2 months before the official launch of Disney Plus, the streaming service became available for users in the Netherlands. Perhaps even more exciting than that, folks getting access to the service now are able to use it free of charge.
Wow, you guys are lucky.
The early rollout of Disney Plus in the Netherlands is actually a free trial, allowing people to get some hands-on experience with the program's layout and content. For the next 2 months, folks in the Netherlands can stream to their heart's content on all available devices and can even download the various titles currently available. In stores now! At Burlington! Tom Ricker, a writer for The Verge, lives in the Netherlands and wrote all about the free Disney Plus trial after downloading the app and browsing around a bit. Like those who got to play around with the Disney Plus interface at D23 Expo last month, Ricker writes that the layout of the service is pleasant and the app is incredibly easy to navigate. I smell the smint of bullshit in this article. Ricker does note that Disney Plus feels a bit empty compared to a service like Netflix, lacking in the size of its library. Of course, the quality of what's on Disney Plus is what users will want to pay for.
What?
I am so tempted to make a joke here.
Just leaving it at that is the joke.
Yeah, just leaving it at that is the joke. There were 18 total Marvel Studios movies on Disney Plus when Ricker logged on to stream, along with a multitude of Star Wars, Pixar, and Disney titles. There's no telling if this trial version has the same lineout as the one that will arrive in November, but it includes a roster of 17 4K HDR titles to stream. Star Wars, The Last Jedi, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, Captain America, Civil War, Captain America, The First Avenger, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Free Solo, Aladdin, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Mary Poppins Returns, A Wrinkle in Time, Christopher Robin, The Princess Diaries, and The Princess Diaries 2, This Again, are all available in 4K.
The Princess Diary of Avenging the Captain of the Star Wars Solo.
Okay, now why do I want to see a Princess Diaries and like crossover where there's like a princess who becomes a superhero instead of the whole thing where she has to get ready for the ball and then get married?
Yeah, I know, right? That would be pretty. I mean, and at this point, we should say, hey, and we need to see you in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, true.
Or in a Star Wars movie.
Very true. Or, like a Marvel Cinematic Star Wars movie. Superheroes and Star Wars together. Are you looking
Guardians
forward
of the Galaxy?
Yeah. Are you looking forward to the launch of Disney Plus? Do you think there will be an early trial anywhere? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Or you can, if you're hearing this here, you can post your own comments. So, and maybe even super chats. Hint, not so huddle, hint.
That's the sound of a man who's having a hard time figuring out how to afford all the Halloween
Yeah, I'm actually
candy.
clicking on the Verge article from the guy from the Netherlands, what it looks like. So, this is what it looks like. And let's see, we have Iron Man 3 Star Wars: The Last Jedi. We have The Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast.
What is that spiral thing? Like the do you see right
it
there?
says One Strange Rock. I do know that.
Hey, I found a rock. Oh, that's strange.
Right. Let's see. Let me see if there's any other pictures. Yes, there is. Awesome. So okay, so let me just click on the pictures and let's see if there's. Let me see if the pictures are any bigger. Let me see if I can get it. The standard homepage is used in the browser. All right, then. All right, so let's see what we got. So Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So we have Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic. We have Avengers: Infinity War, Force Awakens, The Avengers, and Black Panther. Okay, we have the Monsters Inc. So we have Mickey Mouse and Friends. That's the series on the Disney. The Princesses, Superheroes, Disney Junior.
Just superheroes.
Yeah, I see Kim Possible.
Is that a show or a genre?
No, I think that's the genre.
Okay.
Yeah. There's princesses, which probably means all the princess movies. Superheroes like Kim Possible and Spider-Man.
I just got confused for a second. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We went from here are these specific things to things that look very, very similar, but they're categories.
Yeah, although I would like to see Kim Possible and Spider-Man together in a movie. That would be kind of... let's see, we've got the next page. Okay, so featured all movies A through Z, action, adventure, all stuff. Let's see, National Geographic, we have science fiction. The Pixar stuff, and want more National Geographic. Okay, Through the Decades, Disney Through the Decades collection, Disney Channel original movie collection, Disney Nature collection, Princesses collection, Fairies collection. So that means that they'll probably have the Tinkerbell.
Ever since I was a kid, every time I look at the damn Disney D, it just looks like a backwards G to me.
Yeah, it is very interesting. I wonder where the D. I'm sure that there's a video there somewhere.
And of course, the Y looks like a P.
Yeah.
So I just see Giznep.
Yes. And the Muppets, which we're going to talk about the Muppets in just a minute. Oh, this is so sad. Okay, let's go over to the next one. Let's see. We have the Marvel stuff. We have Infinity War already on Disney Plus. Same thing that we saw in the guy's phone. So let's go to the next page. Okay, we have Moana, the live-action Beauty and the Beast, Ralph Breaks the Internet, the live-action Jungle Book, Pirates of the Caribbean, Mary Poppins Returns. Okay, Inside Out. Oh, they actually have the Pixar shorts in separate as a separate playlist. Okay, La Luna, Lava, Jack Attack.
Oh, jeez. I said La Luna, and I just thought La Llorona. I was like, ah!
No. It's actually a really nice little short, actually. So, okay, so let me go to the next one.
We also got a $20 super chat from Savage Tiger 13.
Oh, nice.
Let me take a look if I can see what it says. Okay.
Thank you so much.
It says, here is my weekly support. Now, have to run, being summoned to the dark room by a group of attractive ladies. Normally I would be more cautious about this, but they have cake.
As I said to Decker in his last...
Just be careful if they want to tie you up before you have that cake.
The cake is a lie. The cake is a lie. The cake is a lie.
Thank you, Ratman. Alright, let's go over to our next page. Okay, all the Star Wars stuff. So we have Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars Freemaker Adventures. I did hear that the next season of Star Wars The Clone Wars is actually going to be featuring on Disney Plus, very similar to how Young Justice seasons 3 and 4 are featured in the DC app. So for all the fans of Star Wars The Clone Wars, you soon. I did hear the announcement from Dave Filoni on D23, the D23 Expo, where he was announcing that. So yeah, it's coming soon. Okay, so more National Geographic stuff. I was surprised that I didn't know that Disney actually owned National Geographic. I know that Disney does do their own Disney nature, but I had no idea about the National Geographic stuff. All right, so let me see what's next.
I think I did know that. I think I had heard of that before, that Disney bought National Geographic.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's go.
It doesn't
what's the next
exist,
one?
then Disney is at least trying to purchase it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, kids profile, autoplay, app language, kid-friendly interface with only content suitable for kids. Autoplay, enabling autoplay for the next video in a series to play automatically. Okay.
How sheltered are you that you have your Disney Plus streaming service, and then you also have to select that you want only the things suitable for the kids? It's Disney! Disney!
Well, hey, Decker, look at it this way. It could just be that they changed the settings. I mean, that's what you and I would have done.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that reaction, Decker. Decker doesn't deny it. He's just like,
Let me see if there's anything else there. Were there any other pictures? Let's see. No Simpsons yet. So I know that The Simpsons is also going to be featured in Disney Plus as well. And actually, Disney was actually hinting at something. They were talking about like their favorite time slots for like the Disney. They were talking about like here's our Tailspin, Goof, Darkwing Duck, and all that stuff. And people were like, wait a minute, does that mean that it's going to be featured in Disney Plus? Well, it hasn't been 100% confirmed yet, but people are saying that it could be a possibility.
Wow.
So
I'm sorry that you feel that way. Oh, boy.
All right, so I think I do know one thing that has been confirmed from what I've seen that has been official in Disney Plus. I think that that you'll probably be really happy to hear about this bit of news. So let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if it's. I don't see the article of it though.
Do they have aliens eating people's brains?
Yes.
Oh.
No.
You got me excited there for a second, Patricia.
Okay, but no, of course not. They don't have that. But I think that if I recall, I think I did see something about a guy on Twitter who actually did have the.
He did have an alien eat his brain?
No, I was gonna say that the guy who owned the app, he actually posted a picture of showcasing Gargoyles on Disney Plus.
Ah.
So, yeah, so Gargoyles is on Disney Plus, and if that were to be the case, if it gets a ton of views, don't be surprised if we have a new season of Gargoyles on Disney Plus, because I mean it's Greg Weisman broke his season curse because he has a season 4 of Young Justice going to be coming. So hey, maybe we could have a season 4 of Gargoyles if it's really popular in Disney Plus. So woo! Yes, when it comes out in November, for all you Gargoyles fans, watch it. Then Disney will be like, let's bring back Gargoyles.
In theory, potentially, could be, maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Very true.
I'm just thinking of like Capcom and Mega Man.
Oh, speaking of Mega Man, by the way, this article just came out like 5 minutes ago. They announced a mainstream Mega Man game going to be coming out really soon.
Who?
Yeah, it literally just came out like a few minutes ago.
Oh,
Let me see if I can. Yeah, let me just
awesome.
see if I can. Yeah. Let me see if I could just pull it up.
We
really
have
quick.
magic in Live and Wild. We can
We
create
speak
entertainment.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Can, not necessarily will.
Oh,
Right.
it was a few hours ago, but but hey, you know what? Who cares? I mean, it's new. So, all right, I'm gonna pull it up. Let's see. It's Creepy's.
Hello?
Whose turn is it to read? Is it Creepy or Decker's?
Well, I read a bunch, so.
All right,
Right,
Creepy, you
so
read this one.
my
So
turn then.
there we go. Yeah, this one just came out today. So Capcom
Okay.
reconfirms that the next Mega Man.
Good news, Mega Man fans. Capcom has once again confirmed that a new Mega Man element. Unfortunately, they stopped short of detailing what the project is. Mega Man series producer Kazuhiro Tsuchiya confirmed that the game is in development in a 4Gamer interview. Check out the question and answer below. What can you tell us about the next game to be developed? The most recent game, Mega Man 11, was amazing. We, Gamer 4Gamer, are expecting the revival of the Star Force series. Personally, I would like to see the Command Mission saga to be brought. Ha 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 ha. I see. Ha 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 ha. There are a lot of titles I personally want to work on, but to tell the truth, the next game will be to be developed has already been decided on. You are too late. I'd just like to keep the specific details hidden for the moment. So there. Please wait until we make an announcement. Still, I think that there's no such thing as a spin-off of the Mega Man series. Every saga is a main series on its own. So there. When speaking of Mega Man, there will always be people who think of X as well as people who think of EXE, and I think that quite each one's concept of what Mega Man is changing depending on the generation. For that reason, we don't want to deny any series of its future, even though we probably will.
Yeah. So, yes, there is a main line coming out really soon. As for which one, nobody knows. Is it Mega Man X9? Is it Mega Man 12? Is it Mega Man Battle Network? What was it, like 5, 6? Is it Mega Man Legends 3? Are we finally getting Mega Man Legends 3?
And finally release it on the 3DS. It's like, well, we had all that work done on it, so just finish it off and get out the door already. Forget it.
So yeah, it could be any. It could be any Mega Man, and I know that Mega Man has started to become more popular again because just recently there were Mega Man ZX collection and the Zero series collection. So all 6 games will be bundled up into one collection as opposed to like buying them in 2 separate packages. So that's awesome. You don't have to worry about like, oh, we have the Zero series, which is 4 games, and then the ZX games, which are 2 games. So yeah, we can actually just have all of them together. So awesome. So for any fans of that, if you weren't a fan of the classic series or the X series, then you have the opportunity to play that. Now we're just waiting for the Star Force games, Battle Network, and I do know that. Let's see, we had the Legends series and the Legends of Tron Bond. I think it's still on the PlayStation Store, but maybe like release a trilogy of it pretty soon. We'll just see.
Brianna Roberts is asking, Creepy, have you seen Devilman Crybaby? There's also some mention that, yeah, Devilman Crybaby, that's on Disney Plus, sure.
No, I have not watched Devilman Cry yet, or Devilman Crybaby. I have not watched it yet, although I have heard about it, and as far as I know, Decker has seen it.
I saw the entirety of Devilman Crybaby. It's kind of like Devilman. Like, it starts off and it's like, it's pretty much the same story already. But also, so it's a retelling in a new style with a few other changes here and there. And mainly, it's the same kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of... What the hell just happened to my computer? Okay, everything just went for a second there on the chat window. It's like, huh? But, yeah, they break the moon. Digga, they broke the moon.
Yeah.
They broke the moon.
They fucked up the world so bad that they broke the moon.
Yes. How do you fucking do that? Okay.
All right.
It
So
is.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
All right, so let's go over to our next article. So let's see.
We got like 6 minutes to the 3-hour mark.
Yeah.
Again, for some reason my computer is set to the wrong time zone, so I have no idea. All right, so let's see.
We might want to start closing the. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's talk about the next bit of news regarding about some movies. So we have an announcement from Paul Feig and Universal. So you remember the Dark Universe, the Universal monster series that they wanted to reboot to catch up with the popularity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Right.
A reboot announcement? Is that an announcement or a threat?
No. They made like the Mummy, and
I think they made a Dracula movie.
I want to say Dracula. Yeah, I know they made the movie, and that got panned seriously. So.
Yeah, and then there was also Victor Frankenstein 2015.
Right.
The one with James McAvoy and Daniel Radcliffe, and then the Mummy movie.
Right.
With Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And then that movie was done. That movie was revered so badly. They were like, "This Dark Universe anymore." And so they're thinking about rebooting it in the form of a film called Dark Army, and Paul Feig is going to be involved in it. So let's take a look to see what we have here. So Decker, it is your turn.
Why am I already seeing this as a gritty reboot of Monster Squad?
Because, Creepy, you have synapses that fire off and notice things.
Maybe we should have added that into the lineup. If Monster Squad actually had an anime. Oh wait, that would be Groovy Ghoulies and Gravedale High.
Oh great!
And Monster Force, and Monster Force, and Monster Force. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe we should have put those. All right, so go ahead, Decker.
The failed launch of the Dark Universe has led to Universal Studios rethinking plans for their classic monster properties, with Blumhouse and Leigh Whannell's new take on the Invisible Man. Oh, God, everything's happening. Chase McAndrew just subscribed. Welcome, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Set to kick off a new initiative next year. What comes after? Deadline reports that the studio has linked up with Paul Feig to write and direct a monster movie titled Dark Army. The mysterious project is said to be based on an original idea by Feig. Bridesmaids, Ghostbusters, Simple Favor. That's not doing him any favors right there, honestly. And the site's reporter, Mike Fleming Jr. notes, no one was willing to be specific on how Feig's film will tie into the monster universe. I'm told the project will include characters from Universal's classic monster library and original characters created by Feig. Feig will produce with Laura Fisher more details as we learn them. I'm already terrified at what details we're going to get.
Yeah, exactly. Because Paul Feig, Bridesmaids, a lot of people just really panned the Ghostbusters remake that he directed.
Right.
Yeah.
Thing about it is, I didn't hate it. I mean, it wasn't like the best movie ever, but I didn't hate it.
Charlie hated it. She was like, this was a fucking waste of a day. Why did you bring me out here to watch this crap? She doesn't generally like leaving the house if she doesn't have to anyway, so.
Yeah. Kevin Burdine asks, don't you know Disney own Decker Shadow? Yeah, we've actually joked about that many times. That pretty soon YouTube will be owned by Disney. We'll be owned by Disney. The air that we breathe will be owned by Disney. The water that we drink will be owned by Disney. Yes, we'll be living in a Disney world.
Dark Solid X on Twitter says, hello, Decker, Creepy, and Patricia. Hello, Dark Solid X.
Hi.
Coming to the last minutes of the show, but welcome.
Very last minutes.
No, I'm sorry, guys. But no, it's the last minutes that's going to feel like an hour. All right, so... All right,
time for the YouTube news.
Not just yet. We still have another couple of minutes. All right, so let's go over to our next article.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now there's been announced. Oh, bless you, but Okay, so let's go into some discussions about Daniel Radcliffe. Now that we just talked about Victor
Yes.
Frankenstein a few minutes ago, so
Yes.
there's two announcements about some movies that Daniel Radcliffe will be involved in. So one, it's with the huge success of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, this is not too much of a surprise. So Warner Brothers has announced that they are going to be doing a new Harry Potter film where the original cast will return. So,
Really?
yes, and I think it is based off of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child because it does take place, in the epilogue of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows 19 years later, where they see their son Albus Severus Potter go over to Hogwarts for the first time, and the series and the Broadway play is actually taking place during Al's years in Hogwarts. So.
Mhm.
And we do get to see Harry, Ron, and Hermione as adults. All right, so for most people, the story.
Excuse me. Sorry about
that's
that.
Okay. That's okay.
That just sort of escaped out of here.
It's okay.
Continue.
Let's see. Dr. Doom says Beast to finish. That's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen because I do know there was an announcement of another Beast, although a lot of people critiqued it like really badly. I think it was like a lot of people had mixed to negative reviews about that movie, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. All right, so for most people, the stories of Harry, Ron, and Hermione ended at the conclusion at the Deathly Hallows Part. After defeating Voldemort, we got a touching coda that showed our heroes as adults passing on their knowledge to a new generation. But for those who attended...
John H. Skeleton says, "Hey, Decker, now I'm 21. What's a beer I should try?" That's an interesting little question, because there's lots of beers out there really don't have that much flavor to them, and that's generally what a lot of people go for. Me, I like a pretty hard Guinness, but anymore I usually go for what I refer to as Mexican Guinness, Modelo Negra, which it's a lot easier drinking, but it's still got a whole lot of that flavor to it. Light beers are extremely. They say it's like fucking in a canoe. It's fucking near water.
What?
It's fucking near water.
Okay.
I'm just saying. You don't like light beers? Or you like light beers? Okay, this conversation has gone really bad all of a sudden, and I'm really feeling awkward. Like,
all right, let's move on.
I feel incredibly awkward in what I thought was a simple little aside. So
okay, let's continue. Shall we?
Moving on, back to the Harry Potter stuff.
Yes,
it's talking about beer.
We're talking about Harry Potter.
I think the beer talk is.
Yeah.
All right.
Or Patricia will never let this podcast end.
All right, let's continue. Let's see. So,
why did that turn so awkward?
He'll be on like this for hours.
Anyway, so for those who attended the West End and Broadway show Harry Potter and the know the full story, which follows Harry and Draco's children, Albus Potter and Scorpius Malfoy, as they team up in an attempt to save Cedric Diggory from his fate. Oh yeah, by the way, massive spoilers for those who have not seen The Cursed Child on Broadway or have read the screenplay, which I actually did. And oh my god, the story is like so convoluted, it's not even funny.
What did you see the Broadway play or did you read
I read the screenplay. It was on it was sold in like various stores like a year after the Broadway show came out.
Right, I heard that.
I just never got around to buying it. Yeah,
I've heard people say that they like the idea of Harry Potter's life continuing and finding out more about that. They like the ideas within it, but they said that structure within the play was just really terrible, that it was all over the map.
It was all over. It's like, oh boy, where do I don't want to...
Kat says it's basically bad fan fiction.
It kind of is, especially with the major plot twist about who is behind everything, which, oh my god.
Well, there's that other movie with Daniel Radcliffe where he has guns tied to his hands. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I do know about that, though. I do know about the big plot twist as to who's behind it. Yeah, and there's like this mishap with time travel. So there's like
like
three
that is
alternate times.
Yeah, like that is a massive continuity error because for those who know about the time turner, all of the time turners don't work anymore because when they were over at the what I'm gonna nerd myself. I can't do it. But it's just like with
okay,
Hermione
I'll be
using
right there
it
with
and
you.
then Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix when it fell down and then the time turners, all of them kind of put into like this continuous paradox where it can never be used again. And then there's just
Yeah.
one thing that just absolutely works and oh my god. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah.
Okay. The production has been a smash hit in London and New York, which queues regularly stretching around the globe. And today we learned that Warner Brothers are intending to adapt the story as a film, and they're going to bring back Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson to do it. The news is guaranteed to send Harry Potter fans is absolutely bananas, with the project being a true sequel to the hit movies rather than a prequel to the Fantastic Beasts. As The Cursed Child is a two-part production, which it is, it's likely that this will be a two-part film affair as well, though it hasn't been confirmed yet. For our sources, the same ones who told us that Ewan McGregor was returning as Obi-Wan and that Marvel was planning a She-Hulk show and Disney was adapting an Aladdin sequel were proven to be correct. And yes, that was. So that means that there is a high likely chance that this is actually happening as well. So yeah, I just hope that if they do, they better revise the hell out of this. Oh my god, fans are going to be so pissed.
Right. I mean, yeah, I did some digging. I never read the actual like printed script, but I did some digging online. And reading it, I was just like, this does sound like bad fan fiction.
Yeah,
this does read like someone's fanfic that got produced.
Couldn't I have just talked a little about beer? Like, what was so bad about that?
Oh yeah, sure. Comparing beer to a canoe. I mean, I mean, sure. That's fine. I mean, I guess we could have talked about that a few minutes longer.
It's a figure spit.
Let it go, Decker.
No.
Yes.
But all right, so let's move on. All right, so let's go over to some really sad news for me personally. So we discussed earlier about Disney Plus and the Muppets. So sad news, there was supposed to be a planned Muppet series done by Josh Gad, but sadly it has been canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, another chance for the Muppets to come back, and it's not happening, which sucks, by the way. So
yes.
All right, go ahead, Creepy. It's your turn.
All right, since it is my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, Disney Plus will not be. And something about Seth MacFarlane. Could you scroll down? Just I can't see because of the pop-up thing. No, the other way.
Oh, okay, there we go.
There we go. Yeah. The deadline, the thing of the blocking it. Take two. Disney Plus will not be proceeding with Live Another Day. Its scripted comedy series project written / executive produced by Frozen star Josh Gad and Once Upon a Time creators Adam Horowitz and Eddie Kitsis. The ABC signature produced comedy, which has been in the works since Disney's upcoming streaming platform for a while, had a pilot order. It will not go forward over discrepancy between the writing team's creative vision and that of the top brass at Disney-owned Muppet Studios, which last year became part of Disney Parks, Experience, and Products in a company reorganization. And they said that line in complete seriousness when talking about Disney. Yes. After a little over a year and a half of working on a project called Muppets Live Another Day, at Adam Horowitz, #Eddie Kitsis, and I have decided with a heavy heart to walk away. Gad wrote in a lengthy Instagram post after news of the project's demise broke. Sometimes creative differences are just that. Muppets Live Another Day was to pick up right where 1984's The Muppets Take Manhattan left off and focus on Kermit as he must bring the Muppets back together after being disbanded to help locate the missing role. The project, with original songs by Bobby Lopez and Kristen Lopez, was to be directed by the great Jason Moore, director of Avenue Q and Pitch Perfect. Gad wrote, "It was meant to be a limited event series that picked up a year after Muppets Take Manhattan and was essentially about what happens after you reach the end of the rainbow. It was going to be Muppets by way of Stranger Things and feel like a movie spread over 6 to 8 episodes. Part of the joy for us, by placing the Muppets in the middle of the 80s, was to subvert and comment on our current love for all things nostalgia, while at the same time allowing the characters to tell a story that would ultimately lead to an end in present day, revealing some secrets along the way." Also, Decker, what are you typing?
Nothing.
I think he's typing to that guy about all the beers that he wants the guy to recommend.
Okay. Okay. The Muppets are among the most recognizable characters in the IP library, and Disney Plus had been looking forward to getting a new Muppet series on the platform alongside original shows based on other iconic Disney-owned brands like Marvel and Star Wars. Along with a scripted comedy series, which underwent 2 rounds of development with different creative teams, Disney Plus had been developing a variety series, a reimagining of the classic The Muppet Show. That project was announced at Disney's recent D23 confab as Muppets Now, a short-form, unscripted show featuring celebrity guests. It will debut on Disney Plus in 2020. ABC previously tried a Muppets reboot series with the 2015 The Muppets, which lasted 1 season, which I actually thought was pretty good, honestly.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the screen is flickering. Meanwhile, Disney Junior is enjoying success with Muppet Babies, which recently received an early 3rd season renewal. Muppets Live Another Day was one of 2 comedy pilots ordered by Disney Plus, along with 4 Dads, which also did not go forward. Additionally, the streamer recently opted to not proceed with high-profile series Book of Enchantment, an adaptation of the Villains book series by Serena Valentino, which had been in unofficial pre-production. Disney Plus also passed on kid series Sulphur Springs, which became a pilot at the Disney Channel. Okay.
Wow, it looks like it looks like before Disney Plus started here. I mean, we don't cut off a lot of projects.
No kidding. They're just axing things left and right.
No one can be entertained
without the mouse.
In addition to original series from Marvel and Lucasfilms, Disney Plus will offer series reboots of highly popular Disney Channel franchises. High School Musical and Lizzie McGuire. Okay, tell me what is happening. Chris, just really, what is going on? What the hell is going on? I mean, okay, they passed on like 2 different Muppet series, and now they're going to reboot High School Musical and Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. For anyone who actually was a fan of Lizzie McGuire or High School Musical, I apologize, but was anyone really asking for these?
Not really.
Yeah.
But then again, we're not at the right age demographic.
True. And Lizzie McGuire was one of those shows that kind of baffled me. You know, I was just like, I looked at it and I was like, I don't understand why this is popular, much less as popular as it is. That's just very bewildering. Anyway.
Food says, no Muppets, but we can have more High School Musical! Someone shoot me.
Yep.
Yeah.
It has been one of the great joys of all our awards for these iconic characters. What? Okay, never mind. We wish this franchise all the best and thank our partners at Disney Plus and ABC Studios for the opportunity of blah, blah, blah. Please don't sue us. We're trying to say nice things about you, even though you suck. In the meantime, Adam, Eddie, and I are looking up fun new ideas that we cannot wait to share. Right. Until then, long live the Muppets. They have given us joy for over 40 years, and I have no doubt they will continue to bring us joy for the next 40. Here is his post.
Yeah, this is the post that he, said, and it's more or less the same thing that he wrote down that was stated in the article. So, yeah, it's a shame that it never happened because the concept is actually really interesting. Muppets in Manhattan is actually one of the better Muppet movies.
It was one of my favorite Muppet movies. kid, I liked it. I liked it a lot. In fact, in my head for years, that was how things went with the Muppets. I saw that. I was just, this is just in my mind how things went. They graduated college, they moved to Manhattan, and they put on a Broadway performance that was pretty much ramshackle nonsense that ended with Miss Piggy and Kermit getting married. So, for years I thought that wedding was a real thing. I just thought that they really did get married, and she just, didn't tell him that the wedding was real until afterward. I mean, let's be honest with you, that does seem like the sort of thing Miss Piggy would do.
Sure.
Yeah, I say this as someone who doesn't hate Miss Piggy, but it does seem like the sort of thing that she would do.
Yeah, and it's very true, very true.
Yeah.
All right, so, another thing axed by Disney, which is very sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Sadness all around.
Okay, now let's discuss about that other project that Daniel Radcliffe.
Tie some guns to my hands.
So he's going to be involved in an.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, so let's read it, because that would be something that he would read and things going. All right, so guns are surgically attached to Daniel Radcliffe's hands in Guns Akimbo. So, yes, Guns Akimbo. That's the name of it.
I was sold on seeing the film Guns Akimbo as soon as I heard it was going to be an adrenaline-fueled balls-to-the-wall original action comedy from Jason Lee Howden, the director of Deathgasm. Now it is screened at the Toronto International Film Festival. The things I'm hearing about it have me even more excited to see this movie as soon as possible. We had known that Guns Akimbo stars Daniel Radcliffe as Miles, who spends his days in a dead-end job, pining for his beautiful ex-girlfriend Nova. His mundane existence is turned upside down when he finds himself enrolled in a darknet website that forces complete strangers to fight in a city-wide game of death so that their gladiatorial battles can be live-streamed worldwide to a fanatical audience. Contestants are chosen by a clandestine gang known as Schism, who handicap the wearer contestant to further stack the odds against them. Initially, Miles' lifetime of running from his problems pays off as he manages to elude his first opponent, but when Nova is kidnapped, he must finally stop running and overcome his fears to fight for the girl he loves! Radcliffe is joined at the cast by Natasha Liu Borizo by Natasha as Miles' ex-Nova, Ned Dennehy and Schism leader Rictor, and Samara Weaving of The Babysitter Mayhem and Ready or Not as Schism assassin Nix. Apparently, a lot of the film's running time centers on action sequences in which Weaving's Nix relentlessly pursues Radcliffe's Miles, and there's something awesome in the movie that wasn't mentioned in that black screen plot description. When Schism forces Miles into the death game, they surgically attach guns to both his hands, bolting the guns into his palms and fingers. Speaking with the rap, Radcliffe said that the idea of playing a character with guns stuck to his hands is what first drew him to Guns Akimbo when he read the script. I was immediately intrigued by that. When I got about to page 10 of the script and there was a scene where my character Miles, with his new gun attachment hands, had to work out and try to get out of the bathroom, that was the moment when I was like, you're fully exploring the premise. I'm in. Well, I guess he probably said premise. It was both insane and crazy and violent, but also incredibly funny and just exciting and really fun to read. Radcliffe, Weaving, and Howden discuss working on Guns Akimbo in the video from the rap that can be seen below, if you are on your own and not watching through here, because if we play that, copyright! Yeah.
Again.
Yay, hooray. Let me see if there's anything. No, I don't think there's anything yet. I think it was just like.
Okay.
So, maybe we'll be seeing a trailer pretty soon. So,
I was wondering how he would go to the bathroom. I'm more interested in wondering how he wipes.
Yeah. I'm sure.
True.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably have an explanation about that. So, Guns Akimbo. So we have a combination of The Running Man, Splatterhouse, and just overall action filled with involving with a guy with two guns attached to his
A little
hands.
bit of Saw there.
Yeah.
Shit. But it's still also kind of cool. But shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's
Okay.
2 projects that Daniel Radcliffe is involving in.
Very true.
Okay.
All right, so let's go over to our next article.
We are
So,
20
as
minutes
mentioned-
past the end time.
All right, so let's talk about one more. Oh, funny. Ha 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 ha. Okay, so
We
have
are!
one more. That's true. That's true. All right, so
Did I just
we
hear a ding?
Yeah, my phone
Yeah.
was just going...
Okay.
Sorry.
all right, so we have one more article to discuss about. So, so let's just okay, let's go over to our
RoboCop
YouTube news.
TV series. Kevin Bird, I'm saying, bring that back. It wasn't good, but I would rather see that than High School Musical.
Yeah, so let's discuss about the last bit of YouTube news. So I guess we can just end this thing off. I'm not going to talk. Yeah, let's the thing that's actually on the title card. We're not going to talk about the PewDiePie incident, even though we did talk about it last time on Live and Wired, where he had 100 million subscribers. And yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Let's talk about the
And
thing
then
that
follow it up with some controversy.
Yeah, let's not leave it at that. Let's leave it as something kind of, ridiculous. So this will be our last thing we'll talk about for today. Okay, so here we are. YouTube star and his pal busted for filming close to Area 51.
It's almost like that's illegal.
Yeah, I know, right? 2 Dutch men who were busted this week for trespassing and filming on federal property close to Nevada's so-called Area 51, the classified government site engulfed in alien conspiracies, authorities said. Tia's Granzier, 20, who nearly has 740,000 subscribers, along with Govert Charles Wilmus Jacob Sweet, 21, were arrested Tuesday when deputies found
How
their
many names
car
did he
parked-
have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 names.
Okay, just check. I thought, like, what? I just zoned out in the middle there.
It's a long name. So we'll just call it Jacob Sweep. So yeah, they were arrested Tuesday.
Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
His name is my name too. Okay, so they
He
were
only had
arrested.
4 names.
No, Govert, Charles, Willimus, Jacob, and then the last name Sweep. So
I know, but John
Yeah,
Jacob
so-
Jingleheimer Schmidt only has 4 names.
that's true. So John Jacob Jingleheimer Harry. There we go. Okay, both men told the deputies they saw the no trespassing signs at the Missouri Highway entrance to the high security site, but wanted to look at the facility. Granzier explained that he was a YouTuber, and authorities found several cameras, a phone, a laptop, and a drone inside. Police said during a search of the cameras, they found video footage taken on national security site property, authorities said. They were arrested and booked into the Nye County Detention Center. So it's like, oh, I'm a YouTuber. And then they were like, nah, you're still being arrested. So in his YouTube bio, Granzier describes himself as that blonde on YouTube who builds boats and dog houses and stuff.
And breaks
A
into
video
federal facilities. Haha.
Yes. A video of him building a duct tape boat in his backyard racked up nearly 560,000 views.
All right, that's good.
The trespassing incident comes just as Alien Stock, a sci-fi themed festival that was born out of the viral Storm of Area 51 meme, has been officially canceled. So, yeah, we talked about this in the last episode of Live and Wire. So, yeah, I guess they canceled that too. No, I guess that's kind of sucks. All right, so let's see. Instead, Roberts will host a one-night-only Area 51 celebration in Vegas on September 19th. So I guess good for him that he's still, pushing on to say, like, hey, we want to give tribute to Area 51, even though that we tried that work. So, oh well. All right. So, yeah, I think that should be it. I know that we were past the 20-minute mark a long time ago, but I think that we should definitely stop here right before we continue on because we could.
Paul Grillo says that Mr. Beast went into Area 51 and camped there. Well, if he kept himself like low enough profile, he might have been able to pull it off. But
yeah, that's true.
Food says, honestly, telling the feds upset with you walking around a high security facility that you're a YouTuber is probably one of the worst things you can do.
Mm-hmm. It's like, no, I'm not a spy. I just record things and post them on YouTube for millions of people to see all over the world. It's totally different. Actually, that's arguably worse than if you were just spying for one country.
Well, that's an awesome way to.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So what do we got going on, guys?
Decker, you've got the last Jackie Chan movie coming up, I think.
Where is it? Where did I put it? I put it somewhere. Okay.
You had it here earlier, folks.
Yeah, you did.
Yes. This week is going to be the this upcoming Wednesday is going to be the last week of the Summer of Jackie Chan, and with it, the last review of the Summer of Jackie Chan will be Bleeding Steel. Don't expect a glowingly positive review.
Okay.
Aside from that, I've been trying to get a little bit more done on the gaming channel so that I can actually have some content on there. I recorded 2 parts of Sakura Cupid. Yay. And I might be doing some streams. Not entirely sure if I'm going to be doing Borderlands 3 or what, because I'm probably not going to be streaming that with Charlie. I'll probably be playing by myself, and if I do that, I'll be playing Flak. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We still got to review Power Rangers too.
Yeah. What else?
Which Power Rangers are you going to be talking?
The 1994 movie.
Oh, goody!
And of course, next week we've got. It is next week that we have the special off week Live and Wired.
That's right. Yeah, we are doing a very special in honor of Stephen King's birthday, which is on Saturday next week, the 21st. Yes,
Yeah,
the 21st of September. We will be doing a very special Live and Wired where we watch Stephen King's It, the 1991 miniseries. 1990 miniseries. Thank you. 1990 miniseries. Both halves of it, and we will be playing. Decker
The Stephen King
drinking
game.
The Stephen King drinking game.
Now, in order to do this on Live and Wired, we obviously won't be able to show the movie because it's copyrighted. That's going to get us in a hell of a lot of trouble if we do that. But I am working on getting a little video to play so that there will be something visual going on, something to let you know how far in the movie we are.
Actually, you could play it on the TV behind you. You know that. People could just look over your shoulder.
I was going to say not that TV because that's the old one, but actually, no, that's our newest TV. So, yeah, that has a USB stick. I could actually just do that.
And he didn't think of this until I pointed it out to him.
The point is, I got to have a little thing going on here on the stream. We got to have a little thing, video monitor right there, and Creepy and I will be drinking as the plan. I've already done some preliminary math, though, as people say the Stephen King drinking game. That's been known to kill people. I haven't found any instance where it actually has. Because that's been said before it was a thing that went around everywhere. So, I don't know how true that is, but I do know that mathematically speaking, if you were to take shots of liquor every time you're supposed to drink in Stephen King's It, you would be dead in the first hour. Mathematically speaking, with the actual amount of alcohol it takes to cause alcohol poisoning, you would be about 1.5 times the lethal dose in the first hour.
With something a bit lighter. So basically, what this is boiling down to.
Yeah, we're not going to be going hard liquor shots. We're not going to go wine. We're going to go with something maybe a little light. Who knows? But it's going to be plenty. Trust me. We're not going to know what the hell's going on anyway.
Yeah. And Patricia, what have you got going on?
Well, let's see. I do have something coming up regarding about the Roald Dahl Day that just happened days ago. My co-host Aaron Mehta and I were going to be discussing about one of the adaptations versus another adaptation based off of one of his books, and we're going to be discussing about why one of them is very close to one of the for Aaron, he grew up with this particular adaptation of one of Roald Dahl's books, and he saw the remake of it and he was like so disappointed about it that he wants to do a comparison on these two, and it may lead up into something in the future. So that's that. And let's see, I recently posted up an episode of Dream Machine, the DreamWorks podcast that Aaron and I have been doing, where we talked about Retold, which is a fan created Shrek film done by 200 animators, which, man, that is a trip in itself.
No fooling.
Yeah, it is. It's like a bunch of animations going on every couple of seconds, and there's also some live action scenes. The music has also been redone as well, and we talked about it. And if you're interested, go listen to that. Or if you're not into Shrek, then you can listen to the recent episode of Casual Chats that I posted, discussing about Fully Coolly Alternative and Fully Coolly Progressive, which was the second and third seasons of the 2000 anime Fully Coolly. So, okay, if you want to go into one weird thing, you can go to another weird thing. But I have been working on a script for my premiere of Heroic Gem or Junk, discussing about Cyber 6. I hinted at that before. And
Awesome.
so I've been working really hard on it, and I can't wait to show everybody what I'm writing. So, yeah, that's what I got so far.
Anonymous Bastard says, yeah, instead of getting scared and dying of a heart attack, let's die from alcohol poisoning instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, or drugs.
We're not doing the Stephen King drinking games and doing actual, hard drug. No. Patricia, what is wrong with you?
No. I was actually referring to the last.
Oh.
I am on drugs.
Oh, I'm doing drugs. That one.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Forgot about
Okay,
that.
you weren't actually. You were thinking that I actually had a way of remembering things that have come out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't actually referring that you do it, because I don't want you to die, man. That would be irresponsible of me to let you do that.
Rough Planet says they'll legit be the happiest little asshole alive if somebody states the line, "What's that? There's fuckery afoot!"
Okay. As for me, I have a Gem retrospective review coming up, and I have a Lex review coming up. So both of those.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. And I had a lot of fun doing the Scooby-Doo crossover with Decker. That was very, very enjoyable. So I think we're out of steam though, because we've been at this for 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Charlie gonna be angry at me.
Thank you all for watching. And that has been Decker Shadow.
That has been Patricia, and that long.
And remember the things you've said before, because otherwise you might find it very odd when people make some very strange suggestions all of a sudden.
Very true.
Yes.
Words to live by.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.